interesting.
And producer extraordinaire, Jen Jensen.
It's time for the early game, where the bacon is always prepared properly.
My grand slam was supposed to be with sausage.
On 107.5, The Game.
That doggone Perry Orth in his fair food suggestions. Oh, red velvet, Oreo, fried Oreo, whatever.
It was a red velvet fried Oreo
with cream cheese.
So the
icing.
cookie itself was red velvet.
The Oreo itself was deep fried in like a red velvet batter.
Oh. Okay.
With like a cream cheese. The only thing that would have made it better is they give you the smallest tray known to this planet. The smallest little plastic tray that has the Oreos have toothpicks in them, and they give you, the flimsiest fork ever made. But with all that being said, tiny tray, awful fork, toothpicks sticking everywhere. Oh, red velvet, deep fried Oreo, and deep fried cookie dough. Mwah.
What'd it run you?
$6.
For how many?
Best thing I've ever gotten at the fair.
For how many?
2 Oreos and 2 cookie doughs. $6 total. No, the number 6 is what it is. You got
4 things.
4 things. 4 items.
That's not terrible.
It was, considering I had just paid $15 for 5 chicken tenders for my son.
That's the problem.
That's where they had gotten me. They had just gotten me on the chicken. I'd paid $7 for some fish fries. I'd unloaded $7 on a lemonade. Son wanted a lemonade.
Has it always been that way?
Jen, you feel like, we were talking about this real quick because it always been that way. As we went on the Ferris wheel last night, that's our end. That's our big splashy finish. We go on the larger Ferris wheel by the Rocket. We go on the Ferris wheel to kind of overlook it. Maybe when I was younger, and I've grown up here, I've been going to the fair for 39 years with the exception of last year. Maybe it was because I was younger. I would say smaller, but I'm still relatively small. It felt like the fair was bigger when I was growing up. There was more. Am I wrong on that? Was I just smaller?
I think you were just smaller because I'm sure that they probably have added at times, or I think it's just completely age.
The
perspective.
Plot of land itself has not shrunk, has it?
No, not to my knowledge on that. No, the plot of land is still very nice.
Has it always been this expensive though? Because the whole I love being at fairs, and like we had our neighborhood carnival and all that stuff, but it's supposed to feel like this hometowny feeling thing where you wouldn't expect to get gouged. You expect to go pay a reasonable price and get a good amount of food. But I just haven't been except for one time because it's so expensive. It's just not that.
Yeah, it does seem crazy. $7 for fried potatoes.
It was a big but it was a big. It was.
Doesn't matter.
It was on the 7. Look, I was on board the $7 fries because I got the big 4 of us split it.
Okay.
It's fried. It's potatoes. It's about the cheapest thing. It's about the cheapest thing.
4 of us. Yeah, but you can go around here to a fast food place and they're like $3 for a basket of fries. And I'm not trying. These were the good ones. These were the Fisk fries. We had a little ketchup, a little vinegar. That was good. Then you had the chicken tenders although they were good chicken tenders and we didn't finish them.
Stadium prices.
Not what I would have got.
Why is the fair stadium priced?
I think that's the way most places are, man.
Has it always been that way though? It can't have been, right? It's a neighborhood community event.
I don't think this is a neighborhood.
No, because I know some people they plan for this. This is a vacation.
When did it become this corporate priced thing? That's what you get. That's what you expect from operating cost of a stadium and all that stuff. Is it? I don't know. I feel like it goes against the values of the fair.
Jonathan weighs in. It's not called Ferris wheel. Actually, it's called gondola, Jonathan. I went on the gondola. Last night after I argued about that. But anonymous texter says the roller coasters rides have shrunk in size. Used to have the double looper. It's a big roller coaster. It's gotten smaller over the years. I do agree with that. It was the roller coaster. I did go on the Crazy Mouse. And then I did the tornado, which I tweeted about. And it turns out now no longer can I do rides that spin excessively. And it's not that I was going to get sick. It's that I got so discombobulated coming off of it because then my kids went back on the swings, the really tall swings. And I just had to stand off to the side for a minute and my ADD had kicked in supremely. Like kids were yelling. There were obviously when you're at the fair, as Perry said, you're people watching a little bit. Like I was noticing, like I couldn't lock in on one thing. So apparently, what we figured out last night is at age 39, the spinny rides, so to speak, those days are done for me. Like, and by that I mean short. Like we did the little tornado. Like you're in the little 4-person seat where I mean you can reach out and smack the person next to you. Not like the Himalaya or the Matterhorn or anything. I think I could still make that. But yeah, the ones where you're like in like a little seat and it spins excessively.
It's funny how that changes.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Good time last night. Good time. Had a blast. Again, fried cookie dough, fried red velvet Oreo, delicious. Kudos if you listen to that segment with Perry Orth yesterday.
How was the view at the top of the Ferris wheel?
It's good.
You see
good.
everything?
It's nice. You're on top of the world.
150 feet tall.
Is that the one? It's not that there's two of them. There's an observation one that's ridiculous. You got to buy like 79 tickets. They don't take the wristbands.
The largest in the world up until this year is in Las Vegas, 550 feet.
Okay.
4 times bigger than South Carolina State Fair. Now there's one in Dubai that's 820 feet, though.
803-404-6100. I'll be in Vegas this weekend. I will not be hitting that Ferris wheel.
Go on the high roller.
High roller. Where's it at? Where's it at?
It's in Vegas. It's
looks like
it's like right in the strip.
Is it like at MGM or we're staying at the Aluria this weekend? So it's
right there. You can definitely see it from there. Can't miss it.
Ray weighs in. Why buy chicken tenders from the fair? Need to branch out. I agree. Ray was my son. I wasn't buying them for me. The kid eats chicken tenders everywhere we go. I'm with you, Ray. We went. We did the fried food. We did everything else. Unfortunately, the boy needed chicken tenders, and that was not the thing that I would have gone with. I'm with you on that. Les says I've got the twisties. Yes, I have the twisties. I can't do the spinnies anymore. Jason weighs in. He says more expensive this year, less rides, more spread out. Look, we gave it our best effort. I'm good. The fair. We're done with that. We move on. Welcome in. It's the early game. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, Jen Jensen. Hope you're doing well this morning. If you're going out to the fair, get the fried food. I'm with Ray on that. When you are at the fair, you got to branch out a little bit. You gotta do some other things there. The Italian sausage, the fried mushrooms, all the good stuff. We got some of that last night. If you want to join us, come on in. The water's fine. We got plenty to talk about this morning. South Carolina has an interesting quarterback situation that I don't even know where to go with that.
It's not interesting anymore. It's resolved. We'll get that. We'll get some takes on that this morning. Certainly, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100. How you can join us via the Love Chevy phone lines, the Cool Care Heating and Air text line as well. The Braves last night, well, they blow it. There's no other way to put it. Did you guys? I know y'all aren't as invested in the playoffs as everybody else. Luke Jackson absolutely comes in and does not do what you're supposed to do to win a baseball game, and South Carolina and the Atlanta Braves blow it, a golden opportunity. And I don't know if anybody feels like I do. Maybe it's just a Braves thing. I have grown up watching the Braves. It feels like every bit of momentum shifted in that series last night with Luke Jackson coming unglued late in the ball game, and the Braves blowing what seemed to be. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna jinx them. The Braves are up 5-2 in the bottom, going into the bottom of the 8th, Patrick. And for Braves fans around here, a 3-0 lead against the Dodgers. You feel like you would have had them right where you wanted them. Against maybe the best pitcher in baseball this year.
And they absolutely come unglued, and now you get a very entertaining series that I don't know. I feel like it's the most Braves thing ever last night to blow that game. Bottom of the 8th, and they come unglued. The other game last night.
There was no chance. Once Bellinger hit that home run, there was no chance they were coming back.
No, not Luke Jackson. All of a sudden, the Dodgers pitcher, whose name completely escapes my mind, in the 9th inning, just mows the Braves down like they're not even coming up to the plate. Just absolutely. There's no point in coming to the plate last night in the bottom of the 9th or the top of the 9th for the Braves. So they fall apart last night. You got that. We'll get into that a little bit. Coming up later this morning, 6:40, Danny Kelly with the Post and Courier of Myrtle Beach will join us. There is college football tonight, and it's actually kind of an entertaining game. Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State Coastal Carolina is only favored by 3.5. I feel like that line is way off, Patrick. Tomorrow we'll have Brian Edwards on from Vegas Insider, like we will each and every week. But Coastal Carolina's minus 3.5 last night. Coastal Carolina just got run out of the building by Lafayette last week, by Billy Napier and Lafayette.
App State got run out of the
Excuse me, Lafayette thumped App State. Did I say Coastal?
Yeah.
Sorry. All hungover from fried food last night, all over the place this morning. I completely apologize. But it's kind of interesting to see that line tonight. We will catch up with Danny Kelly here
the home field advantage at App State's going to be a real thing.
Okay.
It's going to be cold in the mountains. It's going to be wind's going to be whipping up there. It'll definitely be sold out. I don't know. That's definitely worth the three or so points that you would give a home team.
Look, it'll be interesting.
It's not like going to I don't know, just brutal. It's not like going to Illinois. Sorry, Jen. Or going to like University of Maryland. It's going to be a legitimate home field and advantage.
It should be a lot of fun. Coastal up to number 14 in the polls. They'll travel to Appalachian State tonight. Again, 7:30. ESPN2 is where you can catch that game. I am actually legitimately excited for that game. I will get home from my son's soccer practice, get a little food set out, and that'll basically be the start of my weekend on Wednesday night. So we'll catch up with Danny Kelly at 6:40 this morning. Again, he of the Post and Courier in Myrtle Beach, the Myrtle Beach segment of the Post and Courier. We'll catch up with him. Also, I'm just kind of interested to hear his take as we see Jamie Chadwell's name pop up in a few other places. The most interesting place I've seen it pop up is at a job that's not open right now, which I think would be just a very, very interesting fit, and that would be at Virginia Tech. Hokie fans not happy with Justin Fuente. Fuente was a guy that came into Virginia Tech, kind of lit things on fire. First year went to the ACC championship game against Clemson, and really things have cooled off significantly since then. I am very interested to see what happens at Virginia Tech, depending on how they finish the remainder of the season. And Jamie Chadwell in Blacksburg, I mean, you talk about taking a nice step up from Coastal Carolina. That would be really intriguing. So I'm also interested to catch up with Danny Kelly this morning. Again, about 23 minutes away. We'll catch up with him.
Do you know what Chadwell makes off the top of your head?
Not much. So they'll be able to top it, and there's nothing that Coastal will be able to do about it.
I just don't know if Coastal, like, what's the most competitive number they could bring to the table. I don't even know what their finances are like.
Coming up at 7:40 this morning, we'll catch up with former Gamecock Sherrod Golightly. He's currently writing with Gamecock Central. We'll get his take on the defense. We got Perry Orr's take on the offense yesterday. We'll ask Golightly what he's seeing defensively and if there's anything there that South Carolina, like, is South Carolina maxed out defensively through 5 games? The defense has been average. They've done good things against bad offenses. They've struggled against good offenses. Is there anything he sees that South Carolina can do differently over the final 5 games? So we got plenty for you this morning. Again, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100 is how you can join us via the Cool Care Heating and Air text line or the Love Chevy phone lines. I see we've got several of you. We're going to get to you here in just a few minutes. We're going to get out to the phone lines. You can also join us on the live stream. David, Robin, Carlton, Anthony, RL, Craig. Craig says brutal Braves game. Amen. DC, all weighing in this morning. Good morning to everybody. You can go to the 107.5 The Game YouTube page and subscribe. Check us out there. You can go to the 107.5 The Game Facebook page as well. We've got it set up now where if you go listen on the live stream, you'll be able to hear the callers, be able to hear the audio. So plenty of ways for you to jump in and be a part of the program this morning. Again, hope you're doing well. Wednesday morning, 6:18 on 107.5 The Game. We'll get out to those Love Chevy phone lines here in just a second when we return. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
More of the early game coming up on 107.5 The Game.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com. Just one accident to let you know about Coon Store Road at Highway 321. Going to be sunny and warm today. Much of that tomorrow. A little bit more of a breeze tomorrow. 82 both days though, and 81 on Friday. Might see an isolated shower. Right now it's fair and it's 48. 107.5.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. COVID hospitalizations of young people have tripled since the start of summer. So talk to your doctor if you've got vaccine questions. We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The powerful new iPhone 13 Pro is here with the most advanced camera in an iPhone. And T-Mobile is the place to get it.
Okay, right now we're hearing the commercials in the stream, not you guys.
Making masterpiece.
Get the most out of your new iPhone on America's largest, fastest 5G network.
And posting. Whoa, that was fast.
And now, you can get iPhone 13 Pro on us with eligible trade-in and plan and upgrade forever.
So I can always have a new iPhone?
Yep, forever. Lock in the trade-in value of your new iPhone up to $800 every 2 years for your next upgrade. Get iPhone 13 Pro on us right now and upgrade forever. Only at T-Mobile.
With Max Plan and on us now via 30-monthly bill credits for well-qualified buyers plus tax. Contact us before canceling service to continue credits on current device or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement is due. Fastest based on average overall 5G speeds according to Open Signal Awards and USA 5G User Experience Report, July 2021. See T-Mobile.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Jay Phillips talking integrated media with Grayson Griner, the former Carolina catcher and now with the Detroit Tigers. But home is still Columbia. Integrated has set you up. What are you most excited about getting around the house?
I would have to say just everything being under one roof. They make it all integrated, where the name comes from. Smart TVs, sound systems with Sonos, surround sound, in-ceiling, in-wall speakers, the Control 4 system that controls everything from your smartphone, from the wall with a touchpad, having everything all-encompassing and making everything easy for us and making sure our house is safe.
You know, if your mom needs to go check on the house, you're on the road in like Oakland or somewhere.
Now I'm hearing you through.
We're from over there.
You can unlock your house. You can set a code just for her to be able to get in. Have a button when you walk in the door to turn your lights on, turn your TVs on. Anything you can think of when it comes to a smart home, integrated media can do, and they're the best at it.
Grayson loves them. I love them. I know you guys will too, whether you're building or remodeling or anything else. 803-948-87
Yeah, there's Echo now.
integratedmediainc.com. Call Integrated Media today. You'll love them.
Last winter, woke up on Christmas morning. It was cold in the Gunner house. I had not done what you should always do. That's get AAA heating and air out to my house to get my heating unit inspected before the winter came. I had some issues. That's all right. They were able to get out right then, get it fixed, and get my family back to its regular Christmas morning. This year, I won't make that mistake. I'll call 803-677-1500. Get Roy and Dana Finley's company out. AAA Heating and Air, you can do the same. Don't wait around till Christmas morning when it's
Okay, whatever you did, that stopped it.
Yeah. That all right now, yeah. That little box or whatever that, like, if somebody was sitting right there, that's just gotta be when we do it, that's gotta be in program 3. Look at you. You get to see behind the scenes again. So he's got to always need to be plugged in then? No, that's irrelevant. It's just the little thing in the back. You could make sure the green one. Oh, the green one does. Yeah, I thought you meant the. Yeah,
I thought they were the same thing.
Nah.
So every morning we got to change. Make sure we change.
Yeah, just make sure that's in. Possibly. It might have been. Yep. There you go.
It's fun figuring things out. But we have to talk into the mics, right?
It does, yeah. Well, I don't know if you have to. I don't know how far away it picks it up.
Yeah, we got.
It's better if you're closer.
I really wanted to make a switch that I'm just running behind. Make the switch to that not Applebee's, the Apple Crisp, whatever you said the girl
Starbucks one?
Starbucks, yeah.
What, did you go?
No. I got the Starbucks that I'm not a fan really of.
Oh, do they sell the actual coffee there at the grocery store? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like I've just got the.
Or did you go buy Starbucks and put it in your own
bag of Starbucks?
Oh, okay,
yeah. Like the blonde roast. How's everybody doing this morning? I don't know, RL. I paid last night. I went by Circle K to save $5 on the tickets because I bought 3 tickets.
It's not though, because I was sophomore in college or junior in college, and I went and I brought like $30 or $40. I was like, all right, this is perfect. This is gonna be plenty to get all the food I want. And I got my ticket and I was like, oh, I can't get anything.
Yeah.
I can't get food and a drink. I
thought
thought $40 was gonna get me in and then get me like a turkey leg and a corn dog. And it wasn't even close.
It was $111 last night
for 3 of you?
For us to get it was $33 for the bands, so that was $66. Bought one for each kid. Now, in defense, the bands, thank you. The bands were the way to go. By the way, we got the doctor tomorrow morning. Okay. The bands were worth it, like, because the number of like tickets you have to ride.
It's all you can ride bands.
Yeah, like they just go up. So like trust me,
$33.
It's
like $50 to get into Hershey Park.
It's for 20 tickets. For 20 tickets, it's $25. 20 tickets would last 2 kids like 4 rides.
It's not an amusement park. It's a state fair. It shouldn't be that expensive.
If you want to join us this morning, 803-404-6100. If you want to see Patrick is getting revved up at the state fair right now for the price. I was explaining off air. Hold on just a second. I was explaining off air how much it was last night and I was explaining the wristband situation. And Patrick, who is very fired up. If you're fired up and there's no show to get to, you need to call the 107.5 The Game and Twin Peaks Hot Take Hotline. It's there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, Patrick, if you had gone to the fair last night and you realized how much it cost for like wristbands to ride rides, you can call 803-978-6654 if you need to vent or if you want to offer constructive criticism or if you just want to offer some actual like compliments. You can call the Hot Take Hotline, sponsored by Twin Peaks, for the men who never settle. Go see Twin Peaks down in the Vista at 600 Gervais Street. That phone number for the Hot Take Hotline, 803-978-6654. Yeah, we're talking. If you want to go on the live stream, go to the 107.5 The Game YouTube page. You'll see Big Carrot over here is turning into Angry Carrot quick. It wasn't cheap. It was not a cheap trip. I think me and 2 kids managed to put away about $180 in the blink of an eye by not doing pretty much anything.
So for one person to get the all-you-can-ride, just to get in and get the all-you-can-ride pass, $33 plus $15 admission.
I went through the Circle K and got the $15.
But if you didn't, it's $48.
Yeah, if you did everything at the fair, it'd be $53. $20 to get in at the $53. $20 to get in, $33 for in. Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? Why is the state fair a cost prohibitive event now? Like our amusement park growing up, we didn't have Six Flags. We had Hershey Park. I don't know if anybody's heard of Hershey Park or knows about Hershey Park. I thought it was popular, but I've talked to people down here and they said, what the heck is Hershey Park? But it's actually just where Hershey was created. Yeah, Hershey, PA. And it's very cool, but lots of rides. But it's $55 to get in. And we were always like, wow, that's super expensive. But, maybe once every year or two, we'll go to Hershey Park for a day. State Fair of South Carolina is the same price. What a joke.
It gets you. Yeah, Richard weighs in. You really want to thrill. Bungee jump off stratosphere. Wife fooled me to do this and was 2 seconds away from a heart attack. So, yeah, it seems a little rough.
Yeah, going up on that observation deck on the stratosphere, that was enough for me.
Really?
So bungee jumping, no. I mean, it's an incredible view, but if you have any type of a height like whoa, then
it's not a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Daniel says the same thing. I spun all night everywhere in the ride that we picked before. I said, hey, kids, you all get to pick one ride before we leave. 3 kids, but that was in line for the tornado. I'm 39. Yeah, that tornado, man, will get you. He says, I will never again ride that one. Yeah, the tornado will definitely get you, Daniel. Got to be careful. And Jason says more expensive this year, less rides, more spread out. 803-404-6100. There are sports to talk about, but the fair is an interesting thing. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Gamecock Lucas. Jen, let's go. Let's start young. This morning. We got Gamecock Lucas and Gamecock Larry. Let's let Gamecock Lucas start first. We know he's got to get to school. Gamecock Lucas, how you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I really think that the Gamecocks need to look. I think like Doty is just more popular than Red Nolan, but they need to keep Zedden because whenever he came in, he's been dimes and dots, just straight on. But Doty, he was throwing interceptions, incomplete interceptions, maybe maybe a lucky shot and he got a completion. But in our running game, I see that our linemen could sometimes push the pocket, or at least to have a pocket where he could get through. But our linemen really can't do that very much. So we need to figure out a different way, maybe like a blue flicker back, and you can run on the outside, and then whenever you see a big guy coming for you to slow down the entry, you could step out of bounds. I mean, you just have to go with a smarter place and think smarter. Yes, think smarter, not harder.
Very, very good. Very good. Yes. And
I would like to see a flea flicker.
That flea flicker would be good. And maybe we'll get that. I feel like didn't we see that from Zeb? Am I crazy? It's
flea flicker?
7 games in. I feel like I might have. No, maybe did I not? Am I crazy? Did I
can't
dream
remember
that?
flea flicker. I could have missed it.
Okay. All right. Maybe they
Very
haven't
well
done
could
it.
have
Yeah.
missed
Good phone call there. Yeah. Again, Luke Doty out for the season. We'll get into that. We will stop talking fair, and we will actually get into Luke Doty and the
There
injury.
are some people that are so mad that it's 6:31 and we just mentioned that Luke Doty's out for the year.
It's all right. Well, trust me, it's been going on all day long yesterday, but we'll get to it because that is some big news. Back out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Gamecock Larry is up next as we cover all the bases this morning on the Love Chevy phones. Gamecock Larry, how you doing this morning?
Doing just fine. Gamecock Lucas, boy, he's got it. He knows what he's talking about. And I'm 87 years old. I'm costing $180 for the fair, and I ain't even going. So I'm going to tell you. I'm old. Anyway, I think Ben Nolan gives us a better chance of winning at least 2 games in the last 5 than Luke Doty. Ben Nolan is a whole lot better passer than Luke Doty. He might not be able to run, but he might surprise you like Tyler Shaw did, which is very doubtful, but strange things happen. So he might surprise you, get a few yards when they need him. But I really think what we should do is play this until the game is out of hand, or until they're still out of hand. And then I think I could got you in, and they didn't miss the spell. This is just the last year for Jason Brown. And next year we can have Doty and Garcia and a few others we got coming. And we have a quarterback option. We'll have that, and I think that's the best, and I'm still saying, I still say it, we're going to win 3 out of the next 5 games. Somehow, some way, we're going to win 3 out of the next 5 games. That's about all we got to say. Hang in there, Gamecock Nation. We got both our quarterbacks injured at the same time. Now we got to kind of look for the future. But I do not think Jason Brown is actually a quarterback or he was on the field before now. He just hadn't showed the coaching what he needed to show him. Go Gamecock.
Oh, thank you for the phone call, Gamecock Larry. So, Lucas, Larry. Yeah, look, we'll get into, again, coming up here in about 6 minutes, we'll get into Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State tonight in Boone, North Carolina. Danny Kelly of the Post and Courier Myrtle Beach will join us to give us a preview of that game. Also talk about Coastal Carolina. But Patrick, certainly the Luke Doty news was the big news yesterday. I kind of had heard rumors of this, kind of suspected this. Shane Beamer had already on Sunday night announced Zeb Nolan as the starter for Texas A&M. So you had a feeling this is potentially where it was heading, but it's the season-ending news that catches you off guard. Look, until they're completely out of it, South Carolina is trying to get to a bowl game, getting those extra practices in December, even using it just for recruiting purposes. I don't care if it's the Birmingham Bowl or the Pollen Weed Eater Bowl in whatever city they want to put that in. Getting to a bowl in year one when expectations were not high at all would be a pretty good accomplishment, even when it looks like the schedule is a lot lighter than it should have been or we thought it would be. All that being said, Zeb Nolan is probably the guy that gives them the best chance. Jason Brown, real quick, to answer Gamecock Larry's question, I was under the impression this is his last year, and then I heard yesterday someone say he might have an extra year. I'm confused by that. It's thrown me off a little bit. I didn't research it because, again, last night I was at the fair, but I'm 95% certain, and I will check and confirm this by the end of the show. This is Jason Brown's last year of college football. He doesn't have a super senior year available. But I do think Zeb Nolan right now gives them the best chance at going out and being able to scratch out 2 more wins somewhere, somehow.
Because Luke Doty's hurt, you mean?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be great if they could just have both and were willing and able to switch it up at a moment's notice. Because, I mean, Zeb looked in that one drive better than he's looked the entire season. And there's things that, like we said, Luke can do that he can't do. And if you could judge it game by game, series by series, I actually think this is the type of quarterback room that would have been best served by kind of having a 2-quarterback system, not necessarily both guys at the same time or switching out in drives or anything like that, but both guys being ready and both guys expecting to get snaps in every game. It's not going to happen now, but like I said yesterday, the offensive line is going to have to block now. I mean, they're going to have to be able to actually pass protect,
especially pass protect.
That's going to be the problem. He's going to need to stay clean. You're going to need to keep Zeb Nolan clean if he's going to be effective. And can they do that? I don't know. I don't expect it to happen this week because that Texas A&M defensive line is really good. But we will see. I mean, maybe they can figure it out. They can get some quick hitters. He's got to snap the ball, get rid of it quickly, and maybe he'll have a little extra confidence knowing there's no Luke Doty breathing down his neck. And I don't think Jason Brown's necessarily challenging him. I think we would have seen him by now if he had shown in practice that he was ready. So it's Zeb's team now. There's no real debate. I would also like to see, I don't think South Carolina is going to get up big and blow out Texas A&M so that we can see Colton Gauthier, but I would like to probably see a little bit of him because he could potentially be in the plans for the future as well.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Gauthier, is it Gauthier or Gauthier? I thought it was
really
Gauthier. Yeah, at this point, we haven't talked about him in about 8 weeks. The point being is with him, he's been working scout team. How much it seems like everybody's already so confused from an offensive standpoint. I don't know if you want to throw him out there. And there's not a get well game left on your schedule where hopefully you could get up by 4 or 5 touchdowns and allow him a few snaps to throw the football around, because you could use the red shirt rule with him where he doesn't play more than 4 games. And so I don't think he's ready. Look, Zeb Nolan, again, this is to me, whether or not he's a better passer, maybe he's more accurate. But then again, I also remember the beginning of the East Carolina game. He wasn't
guys left and right.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly throwing it right to guys in the beginning of that game.
At the end of the day, they don't have a good option at quarterback.
Right.
They're not choosing between Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams here or some other or Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson. I mean, neither of their options are great. So it is what it is. Both quarterbacks are flawed in some way.
It's not going to be what people want to hear because people are already so down on Marcus Satterfield. But this is going to be part of Marcus Satterfield's got to come up with a game plan. And you've got to find a way to get the intermediate passing game working early in games and then be able to take your shots. And the intermediate to short passing game, because of what you just said, Patrick, not just this weekend against a very good Texas A&M pass rush, but against other teams, you've got to be able to hit those short passes early because you're right. At this point, it's hard to believe in game number 8, that offensive line is going to suddenly click and start pass blocking, like the Great Wall of Gervais Street down here or whatever you want to use. Use whatever analogy you want to use here for Columbia, the Great Wall of whatever. But the bottom line is that offensive line, it's hard to see in week 8 that the next thing you know, they're just keeping Zeb Nolan from laying on his back most of the game. So Marcus Satterfield's going to have to look at this and go, all right, we've got to use play action to slow the linebackers a little bit, but I've got to use some short passing game to get the ball out of Zeb Nolan's hand early.
One, for play action to work, they're going to have to actually be able to run the ball too. And we're going to say it every week. Is this the week that the running game is going to be truly effective and you can actually hurt guys on the ground? Because you can play action fake all day, but if they don't feel the need to keep guys home, put 7 or 8 in the box to stop the run, play action is going to be completely meaningless. So, I mean, it's the run game has to help out the pass game. Zeb is not going to drop back 50 times and stay clean and be able to beat Texas A&M. It's just not going to happen in College Station. You have to be able to run the football.
And we'll see if they can do that. Certainly this weekend, you hope. I think if you're a Gamecock fan, and maybe I'm wrong about this, you hope to see Zaquandre White a little bit more. I think that's a guy that's got to get out there a little bit more. Look, he's shown in his limited time that he can make some guys miss. He runs right now, because I don't think Kevin Harris is 100% healthy. Also, we've been talking about, is Luke Doty healthy? Was he healthy? How healthy was he? Is he 100%? Is he 97%? Was he 83%? Who knows? I don't think Kevin Harris is completely healthy. We know he's got a little bit of an ankle injury. Zaquandre White seems like the most physical runner that South Carolina has. We'll continue with this conversation. Certainly, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100. But next up, Danny Kelly with the Post-Courier in Myrtle Beach. Coastal Carolina, ranked 14th nationally, taking on Appalachian State tonight. It's actually a pretty good game. Patrick, college football weekend that's kind of lacking. This isn't a great college football weekend. This might be one of the better games, and it involves a team in our state. We'll talk a little Coastal Carolina with Danny Kelly when we return. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. Good news. I didn't jump in the pool last night. Don't have a pool, live on the lake. But if I'd have had a pool, or if I'd have jumped in the lake, I would have sank like a rock. Either way, it's not really the time of year for you to be doing that. It's getting a little bit chillier, but you still can use your home pool. You can still go out back. Maybe you got a fire pit out there. Maybe you got a nice little setup with chairs, with a tent, with a umbrella, something like that, where in the evening you can go out and relax. You got a nice setup of lawn and everything, where when you go in out back, you can enjoy your pool during the winter and relax and just kind of sit out with your significant other and cool out from a long day. The problem is, if your pool is green, if it's murky, if mosquitoes are using it, you don't want to sit out back. You need to keep that pool nice and clean. That's why you need to call Corley Pool Solutions. Flat rate pricing, including all the chemicals. Tracy Corley, with over 20 years of experience in the industry, can come out and know exactly how to fix your pool by just giving you a 5-minute evaluation. 803-445-8109. That's how you can get in touch with Tracy Corley and his team. How about this, too? It's actually more affordable to allow Tracy to continue maintaining your pool through the off-season than to just give up on it right now and start again in March. You want to keep that pool ready to use. And again, whether it's for a Christmas party where you're using the ambiance, maybe you got lights strung up, maybe you've got a little fountain in your pool, you want to keep that pool maintained so that through the winter months, November, December, January, if you want to go sit out back and kind of enjoy it while you relax after a long day, you want the pool to be nice. Use Corley Pool Solutions. 803-445-8109. That's Corley Pool Solutions. I don't feel like I have my voice. We might have to get, I know you mentioned it yesterday. Backlash. I still owe you a comment. I like to punch him in the face.
I mean, it is good we have a Chicago person here, because I had not heard the opinion of that's just messed up. Everyone loved it. I can't believe he's not getting backlash. That's not Olin Kreutz, a former Bear, being mad about it, saying he wants to punch Aaron Rodgers. It's not backlash.
Nah, it's not backlash. Jimmy, I don't think Spencer Rattler's coming to South Carolina. I agree, you need to go after him, and I'm sure they will, but I highly doubt Spencer Rattler will end up at South Carolina.
No. I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes pro.
But where do you think he'd be drafted? Where would Spencer? Where would
Day
Spencer
2.
rather? Day 2. Could he go? Could he go? What year is Jaden Daniels? Jaden Daniels a sophomore. Is that right?
No, isn't Jaden Daniels a junior or senior? He's an upperclassman, isn't he?
Is he?
He's draftable. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty certain Jaden Daniels is draftable. He was in the class of 2019.
So yeah, he would be a quarterback.
Same class as Kayvon Thibodeau, yeah, and Derrickson. Yeah, he's a junior.
Let me see, Travis. Let's see.
He might be a redshirt sophomore. Or no, he's a COVID sophomore, I guess. That's why they put people at. But yeah, he's draftable now.
Travis, you might be right. If Jason Brown got his COVID year last year, then technically he would be a redshirt junior this year. I think you're actually right on that. As I look at it. Oh, yeah, I guess.
What, Jen needs a number?
Yeah, I guess you would need that, Jen.
Thomas knows Hershey Park. There we go. Craig, you're a Fish guy too? Does Fish have the most rabid fan base of any music group?
I think they are kind of a...
I think so.
Trey Anastasio.
He's ready.
.648 on a Wednesday morning. Bill Gunner, Patrick Pratt, Jen Jensen getting you through 107.5 the game, the early game. Hope you are up and at 'em, doing well. Not that chilly this morning, Patrick. Hopefully you're making it over there.
No, I came prepared. I'm wearing 2 sweatshirts.
Let's get out of the Love Chevy phone line. Let's get out of the guest line. Danny Kelly joining us. He is with the Post and Courier in Myrtle Beach. And Danny, welcome in this morning. Big game tonight up in Boone, North Carolina. I'm surprised. Patrick and I were talking about this. Coastal Carolina's been playing really well, obviously, not just this year now, but for about 18 consecutive games. Only a 5-point favorite tonight. What's your thoughts here as Coastal Carolina travels up to Appalachian State tonight? Number one, welcome in.
Hey, y'all. Hope y'all are doing well this morning. So the Coastal has been playing pretty well. And after I saw App State lost to Louisiana Lafayette, I think it was 41-13, I thought maybe they'd be a little bit more of a favorite. But they've never won in Boone before. So they're 0-5 all time in Boone, 1-6 against App State. all time. First time they beat him was last year. So I thought that they might be a little bit more of a favorite, but I think they'll honestly just take a win if they can, because I mean this game will definitely determine the winner of the East Division and the Sun Belt, because they were both picked to finish first in the division, with Coastal getting more first place votes. So the East Division is probably going to come down to this game.
Are you going to be in Boone tonight?
No, I'm not going to be in Boone.
Okay. It's going to be in the 40s. And
Is
it's
it?
going to be windy. Yeah.
Give us that take? This is a beach team. I haven't grown up in Myrtle Beach per se. I've been down there plenty of times, Danny. But this team going in to handle that weather, certainly the one thing that stands out, and speak to this Coastal Carolina program right now, the one thing that I'm most impressed, seems like one of the more mentally strong programs. Speak to the culture that Jamie Chadwell has developed down there in terms of mental toughness with this football program.
He definitely has developed a really good culture. All the players, seem to, love and respect him, and they respect each other, and just he's definitely, kind of ever since he came in he was the interim in 2017, and then full time 2019 after Joe Moglia stepped down. But ever since he came in, he's established a great culture. I think they've won 11 Sun Belt games in a row. So he definitely knows what he's doing.
The big question for me, I think, Patrick and Danny, is when I look right now at Jamie Chadwell, he is about to be, as jobs open up. I saw him mention for a job that's not even opened at Virginia Tech. He's going to be one of the names that gets thrown around. How does he handle that now, both with the media, because I'm assuming you guys will be asking him that in certain press conference situations, but also with his team, as his name gets brought up for the potential for a bigger, more high-profile job potentially in the ACC?
I definitely think he should be, a name that gets thrown out there just because of, the success that he's had. Last year when the South Carolina job was open, his name was kind of thrown around there. But he's good at, kind of just, keeping his head down and just continuing to work at Coastal. He didn't really talk about it a lot whenever the USC job was still available. But he definitely, he's one of the best Group of 5 coaches in the country, and just one of the best coaches overall in the country, really. As far, if you look at what he's done in the short amount of time, just I definitely think he should be considered for high-profile jobs like that. Just when you look at the body of work that he's accomplished at Coastal.
Do you think, and by the way, we're joined this morning by Danny Kelly with the Post-and-Courier in Myrtle Beach. He covers the Coastal Carolina program, obviously the football program as well. You can follow him on Twitter at _Danny_Kelly is the way to do that for a bunch of, but not just football news, but for anything related to Coastal Carolina. Does a fantastic job. Is there anything specific you think Jamie Chadwell could be looking for? I mentioned Virginia Tech, ACC certainly, but Chadwell's a guy who maybe with Grayson McCall coming back for a junior year next year could ride things out. Do you think there's anything specific that Jamie Chadwell could be looking at to make that jump? A conference, particular, or an idea of money in his head, a certain program? Do you know anything in particular that Jamie Chadwell may look at and say, yeah, I want that more than this?
He honestly really doesn't talk about that stuff. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I mean, if LSU were to offer him the job, I mean, I think he would be successful there, just because just from what I've seen at Coastal, just with the program he's developed. He's has his offense this year has it leads the nation in like 5 different categories. I mean, I know their schedule hasn't been the greatest, but I don't know. I just think he's the type of person. I mean, he had success at Charleston Southern when he was there, and then he obviously here. I mean, I just think he's just successful wherever he goes. So I mean, like I said, if he were to get offered LSU, which I'm not saying he will, but I'm just saying hypothetically, I think he would succeed there. Even I mean, he just knows how to lead a football program.
Appalachian State comes in tonight 4-2, 1-1 in conference. You mentioned the loss to Lafayette last week. Coastal Carolina 6-0, 2-0. Quickly, about a minute to go here. How does this game shake out? How do you see it working? Coastal Carolina going on the road. You gave the numbers: 0-5 in Boone. What'd you say? 1-6 against Appalachian State overall. How do you see this game playing out tonight with these two teams?
I do think Coastal is gonna edge them out. I think it's gonna be a close game. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a hostile environment for sure. It's gonna be the loudest environment they've experienced so far this year. Chad has been pumping in crowd noise and stuff in practice, but I do think Coastal's offense is going to be a little bit too much for them to handle. I mean, Isaiah Likely is, a huge factor. Grayson McCall, huge factor. But I do think if Coastal's defense can stop the App State run game, I think they'll edge them out by 5 or 6, 7, something like that.
Thank you for your contribution, man. Thank you for getting up early with us. He was more than happy to do the 640 segment. I appreciated that when I spoke with Danny.
With a late night ahead, too.
Yeah, you got a big night ahead of you, man. We appreciate you joining us. We'll definitely catch up with you again in the future. Talk a little Coastal Carolina. Good luck down there. It's tough living in Myrtle Beach. I've been down there for some partying. I know what it's like.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much.
No problem. Danny Kelly with the Post and Courier in Myrtle Beach. Fantastic job. Make sure you follow him on Twitter @_Danny_Kelly. Little Coastal Carolina talk tonight. Big game. I'm excited about that. We'll talk more about that.
It's good chance.
Certainly, Jamie Chadwell fitting into other names in the coaching search that's going on out there. And we'll talk Luke Doty in South Carolina as well. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
And the fair talk the beginning could work well too.
Yeah, I don't feel like, the Luke Doty news came out yesterday at 1:15. You had, we'll talk about it, but you had at least 5 hours of Jay and Tommy and then Heath, and we'll get to it, but there's no need to spend, which, we would have spent 3 hours on it previously. Morning, Jim. Morning, everybody. Grown Maine Williams. I have to call you Mr. Williams there. Good to see you this morning. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're liking the live stream a little bit better now that we've got all that fixed. Got the audio fixed. Next step is we'll start sending out. See if you want to look and see if you can get us a Sherrod Go Lately. How do I? I'm sure I could do that.
Pictures?
Yeah,
just go. You can just Google whatever and save a picture. If you save it and add it to whatever, you can just go to add it to your documents or pictures. Just go to brand. Is it brand? Yeah, go to brand, and then just overlay and add an overlay. It's very easy.
Let's see here. Look at Patrick's teaching me, so I want to save image.
Yeah, just save the image.
All right, we'll save it. We'll just save it later.
Just save it as whatever, because you can just delete it from your file as soon as you're done.
All right, and then I'm gonna go to
Banners. Or brand. Sorry, brand.
All right.
Scroll down.
And then
See all those things?
so I want to add it as.
Right there at the bottom.
And then in my downloads. Okay. Neato. So I could add a video owner. Who was this against?
He's young.
Yeah. Oh, this was Eastern Illinois. Oh, we're learning all kinds of stuff this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's doing well. We'll go over a little bit of college football slate. Travis, yeah, to finish that, Travis, I think you're kind of right there. And DC, no, I don't remember Doty actually injuring his foot, but apparently he did at some point. It happened at some point.
I'm about to buy the first of my Christmas gifts.
Oh, and Patrick's buying Christmas gifts.
I think I'm gonna just get them piece by piece so that it doesn't actually hurt my bank account this year.
Yeah, it's you're doing the right thing by starting off extremely early. I'll give you credit for that. So you're making the wise move there.
Need to buy myself something too, but it's only $6. I need to get to 25 for free shipping.
Wow.
So I'm just gonna buy a Christmas gift. I'm getting one of those egg mold, the circles that you put on the skillet, so you can just make an egg perfectly sized for a breakfast sandwich.
All right. That's good.
It's important to have.
I do need to. I think you're right. I need to go do a little bit of Christmas shopping early on here. Go ahead and get a few things. Anybody out there started their Christmas shopping? We got anybody?
Jen has.
We got any Jen? Jen, you in on the Christmas shopping yet?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I am.
I am.
There's like 3 things that can either be for my girlfriend or my sister.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna get those
yeah.
and then just decide.
Look at you thinking ahead. Very good. All right. Oh yeah, Ben Simmons stories.
He is an idiot.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Ben Simmons story, and then Joel Embiid basically is just ripping Ben Simmons a new one now every time he goes into the media session, press conference.
Welcome to the early game. Time to make the donuts. 107.5 The Game with Bill Gunter and Patrick Perez and producer extraordinaire Jen Jensen. The coffee is brewed, the donuts are fresh. It's time for the early game.
They said he was not engaged, Travis.
107.5 The Game.
Welcome in on a Wednesday morning. Hope you're doing all right. Big thanks to Danny Kelly with the Post and Courier of Myrtle Beach for joining us in the previous segment to talk a little Coastal Carolina Appalachian State tonight. Again, Coastal Carolina, per multiple sports books, will be a 5-point favorite in Boone tonight. Again, Patrick, it's not a great weekend of college football. This is one of the games, and it comes on a Wednesday night, not ideal, probably for most of your viewing pleasure, but it does come on a Wednesday night. But Coastal Carolina, certainly because they're in our state, we've been paying a little bit closer attention to them. Jamie Chadwell, for better for worse, and this isn't a rant that says Jamie Chadwell should have been the coach at South Carolina, but people will always watch the career of Jamie Chadwell, much in the same way people have just held on to the career of Greg Marshall multiple times and said he should have been the coach of the University of South Carolina in basketball going way back. Jamie Chadwell's a guy that a lot of people are going to watch intently, and how he does, how his head coaching career moves forward and develops is going to always be something that gets brought up on South Carolina Sports Talk Radio or on message boards or wherever else, because if he goes on to a lot of success, certainly people are going to look at and say, boy, that could have been the guy. But Coastal Carolina tonight, 5-point favorite, over under anywhere between about 61 and 62. It's mainly 61.5 at Caesars, at MGM, at FanDuel. You get the kind of point. I think Circa's got it at 62. So
what do we think they have a chance to achieve this year?
That's a great question on Coastal Carolina and what they could potentially achieve right now.
Cincinnati's going to the playoff.
It's a very strong statement you made there.
Not really, though. They're number 2, and they play nobody for the rest of the year.
Still wouldn't surprise. Look, if Oklahoma goes undefeated, Oklahoma's in. If Alabama runs the table out and knocks off Georgia in the SEC championship game, Alabama's in. And if Ohio State runs the table out, just runs it out and wins the Big Ten championship, Ohio State's in. Sorry, Cincinnati. Sorry.
You think?
Yes.
I mean, they're number 2 in the country. They're not going to be – if they keep blowing everybody out, they're not going to get jumped.
Oklahoma, if they stay undefeated, and Caleb Williams look different. They look different. If Caleb Williams stays in, if Oklahoma goes undefeated, Oklahoma's in. If Alabama runs the table, which, I mean, it seems possible, and beats Georgia, which that doesn't seem possible. That right now is the one you go, okay, I don't know. But if Alabama beats,
possible.
If they run the table, it's possible.
I mean, I think most people in this area or this region of the country probably believe that Georgia and Alabama are the best 2 teams in the country. I think I would probably believe that.
I'm still on board with that. Yeah. But if they go out and they take care of business and they beat Georgia, Alabama's in, and I think the Big Ten's going to get a team in. You look at the schedule, you look at the rankings. I mean, look, there's going to be a bit of a free-for-all the next several weeks. You've got Alabama and Penn State next weekend, Michigan State next week. Next weekend's a better weekend of football, by the way. This weekend, maybe more of your, finish up the summer yard work, get prepared for the fall, the true fall that we'll get for about 3 weeks from October to Thanksgiving. But the bottom line is, no, if Ohio State, if Michigan, no, are we buying Michigan? Maybe we do a buy sell here in a minute.
I'm not buying anyone in the Big Ten. I think they'll all consume each other. Ohio State will probably get out of it with just the one loss.
Oregon dropped all the way to 10. I don't know if Oregon, the college football playoff ranking is entirely different than what I'm looking at here with the AP and with the coaches poll. The playoff ranking is what matters and what that committee of human beings elects to do and put teams at. Cincinnati will be a good story. I don't think they get in. And if they do, it's the number 4 seed. I think
so be it.
I think they get left out,
Georgia rematch.
which would push Cincinnati down to being the non-group of 5 Power 5 team into the Big 6 bowl games. I don't know what the ceiling is for Coastal Carolina this year. They're 14 now.
Well, if Cincinnati does make the playoff, then they could get that bowl, right?
They could.
That would be probably the peak for them.
Right. And yes, and yeah, I mean, I don't that would probably slide them into, because BYU is lost. I don't think there's another group of 6 as I just glanced. I was just looking at it. No, there's not another group of 6 team in front of them. They would be able to get in there. But no, more than likely Coastal Carolina is playing for whatever the Sun Belt championship game is. The bowl game is.
This is the biggest game left on their schedule.
Yes, it's not.
They've
close.
got Troy next week too, which will be another interesting game for South Carolina fans to watch, just to see a team like Coastal match up against a similar opponent. If Coastal goes out there and and scores like 56 on Troy, like 56-7, South Carolina fans even care? Will that make them still feel worse? I feel like most of them have accepted that, Coastal is probably a better team than South Carolina right now.
I think,
there's so many people that are still in denial, though. Like, they're ranked higher, but that's just because they play an easy schedule, and they're a really good team, but we're still the SEC, and if we matched up on the same field, we'd still beat them. I don't think that's true.
Travis asks on the live stream, when is the first Or who was it? Who was it who asked this? Or maybe I said, no,
RL.
RL. When is the first playoff poll? November 2nd is what I've got here when the college football playoff committee will release their very first poll November 2nd. So not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday is when we'll get our first idea. 803-404-6100, how you can join us this morning if you want to talk a little bit about that game night. Look, it's interesting. It's all I'm saying. It's an interesting college football game, 7:30 tonight. Coastal Carolina -5 on the road in Boone, North Carolina against Appalachian State. Certainly, locally, the big news yesterday, Luke Doty out for the season with a foot injury. Patrick, I think this would be a bigger story, a much bigger story, if we had not seen Zeb Nolan at the beginning of the year, because I think Richard hit us up on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line earlier and said, oh, people are dying to see Zeb Nolan again. They want to bring him back. I don't know if they're dying to see him, but I think people are interested to see if he changes the offense now 8 games in, as opposed to the last time we truly saw him. We only saw him for one series. Remember that. He came on against Georgia. We saw him for one series. He got his hand stepped on at the end of that series. South Carolina kicked a field goal, moved it to 7-3. Zeb Nolan did hit a long pass down the sideline in that game to Josh Vann, but again, he only played one series, and then Luke Doty came in the remainder of the game. I do think people are interested to see him. And last week, it was Vanderbilt, and they went prevent defense, which nobody understood. But that gives people hope that Zeb Nolan is maybe a part of the answer of this offense, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're pretending like we didn't see him play 4 quarters. We only saw him play Eastern Illinois and then one drive. Like, we saw him start a game. Maybe it's because there wasn't a ton of practice before that East Carolina start. And now that he's practiced for half a season on top of the couple weeks where he immediately transitioned from being a coach to a player, I can't imagine too much is going to change. I don't know how we can expect it at this point. I think we know who he is. We know what he is. We know what the offensive line is, and we know what the skill players are around him. We know what the expectations should be. I don't know why they're getting just totally out of hand right now, but I think the best thing for him is that Luke Doty will be out for the year. And if he's not doing well, if he's getting sacked, if he's throwing balls up, if South Carolina has 0 points at halftime against Texas A&M, he's not going to get pulled for Luke Doty because everyone's yelling that we need the dual threat quarterback out there. There's really not another quarterback on the roster that's a good athlete. I mean, Colton Gauthier might be a good athlete. I think he seems to be fairly mobile, but he's not a runner.
Well, we haven't seen enough of Jason Brown to really know. Is he? No, nobody on that. Nobody that's truly at quarterback is fast, like defined as fast. What does we didn't see a ton of Jason Brown in the spring game for me to make an assessment, for me to come in here and start saying, oh, I think Jason Brown can do this, or I think Jason Brown I didn't see enough of him in the spring game.
Jake Bentley is 1,000 times better of a runner than Zeb or Jason Brown.
Probably on Jason. Definitely on Zeb. Nobody's questioning. Look, nobody's talking about the mobility. And you're right. The next step for South Carolina's offense, the offensive line has to block. But Zeb Nolan will get the start. 803-404-6100. What do you expect from Zeb Nolan? I'm with you, Patrick. At times, it's like we block out the East Carolina game. We just ignore that because Zeb Nolan was not good in the first half of that game. There was a lot of people that were either venting on the hot take hotline, the Twin Peaks hot take hotline, that it was time for Luke Doty. There was people venting on Twitter that they'd seen enough. Zeb Nolan, I mean, there's still the gif of him completely missing, I believe, Jalen Brooks on an out pattern, where in the background you just see a graduate assistant throw his papers up into the air. We're not trying to put down Zeb Nolan, but I do think that there is a little bit of like revisionist history where people are right now are forgetting some things. We'll see how he looks. Certainly, I'm with you. The ball is his on Saturday night, and Texas A&M is coming into this game with as much confidence as they could have right now. Off the Alabama victory, they thumped Missouri last weekend. This is a Texas A&M team that seems to be finding itself at just the right time. 5-2, they're probably not. They need Alabama to lose another game in the SEC to win the West.
To go to Atlanta? Okay.
Yeah, to go to Atlanta. They would need Alabama to lose.
That seems like a pipe dream, but
it does. The rest of Texas A&M's schedule, and Texas A&M doesn't really have it easy. They've got Auburn. They've got at Mississippi State. And look, I don't know if you feel like LSU and Ed Orgeron will come back together one more time for like a Love Fest send-off. Texas A&M does go to Baton Rouge Thanksgiving weekend for the final home game for Ed Orgeron. Like, is that like everybody's like, all right, thank you for what you did. We appreciate the championship. You weren't very good after that, but you are one of us. We love you. Go get them.
All his girlfriends will be on the
Yeah,
sideline.
all the girl. Yeah,
all the
just
sideline together for one last.
I laugh. Austin, my son Austin, at the end of each soccer game, soccer game, they do the tunnel where the kids run through.
That's fun.
Maybe the girlfriends of Ed Orgeron will get together and make a tunnel, and he can run out his own.
All his girlfriend's kids are on the shoulders of the players.
Whatever. 803-404-6100 is how you should weigh in this morning. Cool Care Heating and Air text line or the Love Chevy phone lines. Richard weighs in and says Zeb should be in much better shape right now. They need to run that first drive at A&M like a 2-minute offense to go downfield and grab the momentum. I will say this, like, what exactly is how much what is going to be the shape of Zeb Nolan? We act like all of a sudden he's going to come out and be entirely different.
I don't know. I don't expect anything to be different. If we're being honest, if we're in the trusher here, I'm fully expecting Saturday to be ugly. I think DeMarvin Leal is probably going to have 4 sacks. South Carolina's not going to be able to do anything on offense. It's going to be a hostile environment. I don't think it's going to go well. I don't know why anybody's just saying, okay, now we got our quarterback. Now we're going to go out there and drop 35. I'm just not expecting that. I think Zeb will do what Zeb did against East Carolina. He will miss a couple throws. He will hit a couple guys. He'll throw it deep a couple times. Maybe Josh Vann can come down with a deep ball once in a while, or maybe Jaheim Bell's comfortable in the offense now, and you feel comfortable throwing a couple balls to him, and he can make something happen after the catch. Just I don't expect anything spectacular. They're probably going to lose the game by multiple touchdowns.
The point spread currently Texas A&M favored by 21 over under. I'm a little surprised at this, Patrick. Over under 45, 44.5. That seems low. I would have put it. I mean, look, Vegas is not expecting South Carolina to score a lot, but 21 points, that puts it at about 34 to 13. Is that 30 roughly 30
to 20?
No, it's 45.
The total is 45?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. The over under on the South Carolina Texas A&M game is 45. And it's gone down from 48.5. So that's your spread for the weekend. The other one we'll get into a little bit. People are celebrating this. Pittsburgh minus 3.5 right now at most sports books. Over under a 48.5 for the Clemson-Pittsburgh game. That went 3:30 this coming weekend. So Pittsburgh now getting the home field advantage of 3.5 there for their home field advantage on Saturday against Clemson. And we hadn't talked a lot about that. We'll get into that more a little bit. We'll go through the weekend that will be in college football. Again, not a great weekend. Coming up in about 23 minutes, Sherrod Golightly, former South Carolina linebacker, will join us. We'll talk about the defense. We've talked a lot about the offense, certainly the news of Luke Doty, but can the defense do anything else that Sherrod Golightly sees or anybody sees to just make some improvements over the final 5 games? Because when they faced good offenses right now, and they faced 2 of them, 2 really good offenses, they've had problems stopping Tennessee and Georgia. Georgia may be on a different level, but still, we'll get into that as we go through the morning. So coming up in about 23 minutes, Sherrod Golightly joining us. You're listening to The Early Game on 107.5 The Game. Slushies, fried food, elephant ears, powdered sugar, all the things that might have been brought home from the fair last night that will likely now find its way onto the Gunner carpet. That's why I've already called Zero Rest. Preemptive strike, getting them out early, just going ahead and planning ahead. You need to do the same. You got to think about it. Might be having a Halloween party in 2 weeks. You need to go ahead and call Zero Rest. Get them out to the house. 803-262-4020. Get your cleaning booked today for your Halloween party. That way your carpets will look fantastic. The tile will be freshened up. The rugs will look great. Upholstery insanely clean. That's exactly what the technology from Zero Res is capable.
Which take?
I'll get a successful night if we look better than we did against Georgia.
I think twice this morning now. Once after we had already moved on. I don't know. This computer keeps freezing. Oh no.
Uh-oh, computer froze. Oh, wait. Audio back. Jen might not have put us back in.
No, it's not. It's this.
It's that, but it's pulsating now.
Okay. So I guess we're good. It's not showing up on the screen. But yeah, after we'd moved on from the fair talk, a good 10 minutes after the fair talk had ended, somebody texted in, when did this become? This station is 107.5 The Fair. That's what you should call it.
Kept rolling
And then after we had moved on from the coastal talk, somebody goes, what is this? The home of the Chanticleers?
Oh, I didn't see that text.
Who was it?
All I saw was people agreeing that when
it was at 7:12. I must have missed something. When did 107.5 become home of the Chanticleers?
Must have missed something. How much do you pay for this program? I mean,
I bet you the first person that said 107.5 The Fair, he thought of it late. And he thought it was funny. So he was like, all right, well, we've moved on from the fair 10 minutes ago, but I've got this joke and I need to use it. Because he's worried that we weren't going to come back to it at all. And then this guy that's upset about the coastal talk was probably driving to work and wasn't on his phone. We'd already moved on to it, but he'd gotten to work and he still wanted to complain from earlier. So he decided to send the text.
it's called Variety. It's local. What are we going to do? Burn into the ground that Doty's foot is not working. So we're moving on.
Very much want to complain about something and will reach. Lauren?
Ben Simmons suspended for one game for conduct detriment. I didn't see the one game.
What? The volume's not going right now, is it?
Nah, it's back. It's flashing. I can see Travis is saying it's all good now.
Lauren got the apple coffee this morning. I really do want to get one again, or for myself.
Yeah, nothing we can do, Troy. I don't even worry about it. Yeah, I might have to come in with an apple crisp coffee and test it out in the morning, which means I got to get up Yeah, Craig. I didn't see him. I mean, I'm sure he was probably adrenaline. I think the injury is. I think the injury is significant, but I don't think it's. I think they should have gotten it probably fixed. Remember, a lot of people that I talked to thought it was season ending from the get go, from back in August. Yeah, Travis.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, but I saw his point about that.
He was just saying they would do well.
I was still also like saying, and also because they're not open, the job is not open. But I'm thinking more Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, LSU. LSU's not going after Jamie Chadwell. But
now, if you look at the background of the LSU athletic director, it's to go hire big name coaches, which
Always.
actually takes out Billy Napier too, which would be wildly interesting. 'Cause I feel like Napier's had his heart set on that job.
Well, I think he did, but I don't think LSU was ever fully set on him. He seemed like the logical.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not lighting the world on fire right now. He's just doing a solid job. If the Raging Cajuns were in the same position. Are we back?
Nah, I was just putting this in so I can hear.
If the Raging Cajuns were in the same position as Coastal or Cincinnati right now, then he'd be a no-brainer for that job, but they're not.
So we'll keep this one a little short.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by and shop online today and see why Herndon
Probably go about 37. 37 will take us to about 44, I would guess. We'll see how Sherrod is. Be pretty good. Yeah. Reminding you, Trans-Siberian Orchestra coming back to Columbia Wednesday, December 8th at the Colonial Life Arena. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Family Promise of the Midlands, a charity that aims to help families experiencing homelessness in their quest to achieve sustainable independence. Tickets are on sale now. Again, Trans-Siberian Orchestra coming back to Columbia Wednesday, December 8th at Colonial Life Arena. Right now, you can get your tickets, and a portion of the proceeds will benefit Family Promise of the Midlands, a charity that aims to help families experiencing homelessness in their quest to achieve sustainable independence. 803-404-6100, how you can join us this morning. Again, coming up in about 15 minutes, Sherrod Golightly, former South Carolina, I guess you'd say linebacker, more of a nickelback maybe kind of guy, will be joining us. He's writing for Gamecock Central now, so you can check out his work there on Gamecock Central. But we will get his take on the defense because there's been a lot of talk about the offense. That's all we've talked about, offense. And rightfully so. But the defense is going to have to play better. Look, Florida, Texas A&M is playing a lot better offensively. And this weekend, Isaiah Spiller, the very good running back for Texas A&M, can hurt you if you don't stop him in the running game. Florida, say what you want about Florida. There's a lot of turmoil down there. Dan Mullen is under a lot of heat. Todd Grantham, as David Hale put it in his article on ESPN, is beloved by every SEC school except the one in Gainesville. Look, Missouri and Connor Bazelak, they can still put up points if your defense is not ready. Auburn has been up and down. Bo Nix is playing better, by the way, on the road. He was very good last weekend in Fayetteville. And then who knows what Clemson will do when they arrive in Columbia, November 27th. But the defense has got to play better too, Patrick. We've talked a lot about the offense. The defense needs to make strides down the stretch as well and get some stops, especially in the run game. That's going to be pretty important, and that starts this weekend against Isaiah Spiller.
It's the run game. It's a big game for the linebackers. I mean, they're going to have to tackle Isaiah Spiller, and then Jalen Watermeyer, that tight end, has killed South Carolina before. Was it last year where he was just he has scored like a 60-yard touchdown in South Carolina just to rub salt in the wound, I think. He's phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, the defense is going to have to carry you in this game. No broken tackles. You got to stop guys. You got a still young quarterback. How old is Zach Calzada?
Zach Calzada is right now, I believe, a red shirt. Yeah, he's a sophomore.
Okay.
Does not tell me his birthday, so we're not going to go that in depth on him. Calzada right now this year, Patrick, is completing his 56% of his passes. He's been better the last 3 weeks, though. Yeah. 1,177 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for Calzada. But he's picked things up. Obviously, the Alabama game stands out. 21 of 31, 285 yards and 3 touchdowns against Alabama. Last week against Missouri, didn't have to do a whole lot. 13 of 25, 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. But this is the same kid. Remember, before the Alabama game, it was a 2-game losing streak for Texas A&M, and one of them was a pretty ugly loss to Mississippi State in College Station.
But that was the one that was his first appearance, right?
What was
his first appearance?
He appeared
when Haynes King got hurt in the first drive.
Colorado.
He's been
around for a few weeks but gradually was kind of holding his own. Had the breakout game against Alabama, but certainly Zach Calzada, 6'4", 210 pounds, sophomore. He's out of Sugar Hill, Georgia. Was an Elite 11 quarterback when Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M recruited him. But Isaiah Spiller is the guy that South Carolina is going to have to keep an eye on.
They actually do. Who mentioned it? Craig on the live stream. Devon Achane, super explosive. So they got really a do-it-all running back and then a wide receiver gadgety guy in Achane that can really take the top off. I think he's scored a bunch of touchdowns already this year, and Jalen Watermeyer, tight end, is big time. But their offensive line is not awesome. It's pretty underwhelming in terms of SEC offensive line, so they can be had.
It struggled a little bit. They did lose some guys last year, and it struggled a little bit this year.
Kenyon Green might be the best guard in the country for them, but the rest of the line is not awesome.
Again, we talk about, look, there's no doubt in the news yesterday, Luke Doty out for the remainder of the season, so now Zeb Nolan comes back in. We've talked ad nauseum now for 7 weeks about the run game for South Carolina, about the offensive line, and certainly they need to play better. But this weekend, you make a good point. South Carolina's defense this weekend will be tested, and you're going to have to keep Texas A&M in the mid-20s, and that might be asking a little bit too much, and it might be asking too much of your offense right now, given what we've seen from them, to get to 24 or 28 points.
Vegas certainly doesn't think so.
No.
Vegas thinks they're barely breaking 10.
Vegas doesn't have a lot of confidence in them, but the defense does need to play a little bit better. Isaiah Spiller right now on the season, the solid running back for Texas A&M, 105 carries, 659 yards. That's a 6.3 yards per carry average, 4 touchdowns on the year for Spiller. He also not too shabby out of the backfield, as he is a guy who can get out in some screens. Against Alabama, 4 catches for 43 yards. He only had 1 catch last week for 10 yards, but they will utilize him occasionally in the screen game, and he can hurt you as he gets matched up on a linebacker.
He's actually gotten substantially better, not just the screen game. He's actually running routes and making great catches. The Colorado game that they won at the last, he had a receiving touchdown there where he actually ran a little out route and toe tapped the pylon near the pylon in the end zone, or maybe it was a fade. Yeah, but it was a really impressive pass play. He's one of the best running backs in the SEC. I think Tank Bigsby's probably the best, but he's right there.
Anonymous texter weighs in. This is an interesting text message. Came back in about 15 minutes ago. He said, "Successful night if we look better than we did against Georgia." Now, Texas A&M's not Georgia.
What does look better mean?
I think plays better, keeps it closer. That's an interesting text.
You have to keep it closer against them than the number 1 team in the country.
Well, it's game 8. I do agree. Texas A&M is playing good right now. They're not Georgia. Let me be clear. I'm not trying to say, hey, it's, no. But game 8, you're banged up. South Carolina is a banged up football team. You're talking about a team who lacks depth to begin with. When you play 7 straight games and you go into your 8th, all teams are banged up at this point in the season. South Carolina is no different. But that is an interesting text to me when I read that, because part of the question is what you just said. What is exactly looking better than you did? Look, it shouldn't take a whole lot to look better. I know Texas A&M's better than Tennessee. It shouldn't take a whole lot to look better than you did against Tennessee. Don't give up 28 points in the first quarter and I instantly go, hey, there's a victory. But the bottom line is, what can this team do on Saturday night aside from win the football game that gives you hope down the stretch? Texas A&M's hot. Texas A&M can also throw up a flounder game and just come out dead and look flat and be awful. I don't know if this is the game for that to happen, though, because they seem to have found something.
I don't know if they found. I almost think that there was just magic in the air that night when Alabama came. It's the biggest win ever for Texas A&M.
Probably not ever, but it's up there. It's up
you
there.
beat the
I don't
number
know.
one team in the country.
I can't give you the full.
Much bigger,
I can't
right?
give you the full Texas A&M history.
But that game, everything was just meant to be for them. Like I just don't think I don't think they're that good. I think just sometimes magical things happen. You were just meant to win a game on a certain day. Zach Calzada played out of his mind and just not as good as he probably looked to be that night. And I think they're far closer to the actual Mississippi State game or the Colorado game than that team that beat Alabama. I think South Carolina can keep this closer than people would expect when you say, oh, this is a Texas A&M team that just beat Alabama.
One thing to keep an eye on if you're a South Carolina fan that is a little concerning as Texas A&M, again, going back to the Alabama game, going back to last week against Missouri, Texas A&M has been hot in the first quarter. 17 points against Alabama in the opening quarter, 21 last week against Missouri in the opening quarter. South Carolina fans are still having nightmares of what happened in Knoxville with Tennessee putting up points early on. It'll be a night game, but South Carolina has got to come out and stop Texas A&M early. Against Missouri, there was a 2-yard touchdown pass on a 4-yard 22-yard drive to get up 7-0. Isaiah Spiller had a 48-yard touchdown run on a 5-play 89-yard drive to make it 14-0. Texas A&M up on Missouri, and then Achane a 20-yard touchdown drive on an 8-play 84-yard drive against Missouri to make it 21-0 with 2:43 to go in the first quarter. 17 against Alabama in the first quarter, 21 against Missouri last week. After that, Missouri kept it close, 14-14 the remainder of the game. Don't let Texas A&M come out of the gate and jump all over you. We saw that against Tennessee, and it was an absolute disaster. Shane Beamer and his staff have got to have South Carolina ready to go. And it goes back to the defense. Look, we can talk till we're blue in the face on offense, and we're going to catch up with Sherrod Golightly here in about 5 or 6 minutes. But the defense didn't come out with a particularly great plan against Tennessee 2 weeks ago. We'll talk with Sherrod Golightly, former South Carolina linebacker, when we return. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
This is Gamecock basketball head coach Frank Martin, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com. Downtown Columbia, we do have a report of an accident, Bull Street at Elmwood Avenue. There's also a car versus deer incident, Hardscrabble Road at Farrow Road. Also have a tie-up, Old Barnwell Road at Emmanuel Church Road. Old Dunbar Road at Highway 302. And a report of a tie-up, River Drive near Sunset Boulevard. Beautiful forecast
All right,
on
RL,
tap.
yeah, what are we
today
here?
Of
We're talking
82.
about Starbucks. That's what I feel. I
Full
feel
start,
like I
it's
need to get
48
some
right now.
Starbucks or something
107.5
here.
The Game.
Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. Mark, I kind of agree. Auburn's interesting. I'm not sure what to make of Auburn right now. They've been semi up and down. Semi up and down.
This was bigger than the Johnny Manziel game, right? I mean, Alabama was number 1 in both games, but the difference is that was a top 10, top 15 ranked Texas A&M team.
Were they?
They had to have been, right?
I think so.
Go back and check. This is an unranked Texas A&M team that's down on their luck and an 18-point underdog. 2012.
I think it was bigger just because they had
Texas A&M was number 15 in the country for that game.
that's true, Jason. Huh? You just kidding me? That's my second.
Yeah.
Find these. Did I really just do that? See if you can combine them, because I don't. What did I?
I don't know.
It doesn't feel like we talked that long.
We didn't. But there's 3 breaks. That's
Well,
why I said we want to get up by 35. And you said 37.
But even then, that wouldn't have mattered because broke at 17.
Yeah, we were late on the first one.
But by
a couple minutes.
2
Yeah.
minutes at most. But we didn't just talk for 15 minutes, did we?
Sure we did.
That's the one that confuses me.
We got in at 26. And we talked for...
Are you serious? We came back in. That's what threw me off. That means that was a 9-minute break.
No.
We
No,
broke
it's
at 17. We broke at 17 because even I was like, all right, I'm 2 minutes behind, but I was like, all right, no problem.
Did you do it live?
Yeah, I did 0 rest, so it might have been 19, but still, then that's a 7-minute break.
I mean, there definitely were not 7 minutes of spots.
But if we came back at 26, we were out at 17. And I didn't.
There were probably 4 minutes of spots. We don't have 7-minute breaks.
Yeah, you like that, Troy? Yeah, like I don't know how I just lost track of what exactly we were doing. I thought I was right on. I thought I was dead on. Man, I hadn't figured out still exactly how I did that. Okay. Okay. All right, and then we'll go into.
And I have everything combined in the agent, so we'll just go to the end of the hour with the interview.
All right.
I mean, we're still not going to have that much time.
I mean, we'll have if she says 2 minutes, that'll put us at 45.
We'll have like 8 minutes with him.
Yeah, I mean, if I hadn't talked to him enough to say, okay, this is gonna be like, but yeah, you guys. The good news about being in studio is you guys get to see, you guys and girls, you get to see more behind the scenes stuff as to what's going on. How things are handled around here.
Oh.
You get the magic of radio just isn't the same all of a sudden, is it? You start pulling back the curtain a little bit.
Oh, it's magical.
It's actually not a bad thing because I wanted to Sherrod. He teaches in Atlanta, somewhere east Atlanta. He was a little concerned. Like, if I get in at this time and I need some time to like make sure I'm set up and ready to go, like I guess teach this. So I initially like I told him, all right, well 7:43 ish. So it's not like we're
Yeah. Yeah, this will work. I'm just making a little extra at the top hour. If that's all right.
and then you just need to send me the 8 o'clock schedule. I don't think I saw that come through.
Okay, stand by.
Oh, that kind of morning for us where we're thinking about football and thinking about trick or treating and the fair. And maybe you're thinking about something else like purchasing a new vehicle because it's almost that time of the year where you start to make some big changes. A Christmas present for the significant other, maybe for yourself. And at Love Chevrolet, you're going to find a fantastic Christmas present. 14 acres of brand new Chevys to choose from. You will find the car or truck that will fit exactly what you've been looking for in 2022. So don't wait around. Get out to Love Chevrolet. Again, the largest selection of Chevrolets anywhere in the Midlands. And on top of that, it is the best deal anywhere that you can find. The $1,000 low price guarantee means you can actually shop other dealerships and come back to the folks at Love Chevrolet and they will top it or write you a check for $1,000. Hasn't happened yet, won't happen anytime soon. And of course, to me, the best part about shopping at Love Chevrolet is the sales staff. Trustworthy, reliable, and most importantly, knowledgeable. You need salespeople who can help you understand why a car or truck fits your everyday commute. And in 2022, there might be a whole lot more commutes for you. Getting the kids back to soccer, to basketball, to football, to cheer, all those kind of really cool things that you do to take care of your family. Make sure you have a reliable vehicle. And at Love Chevrolet, 14 acres of brand new Chevys means you're going to find that reliable vehicle. They've also got an incredible certified pre-owned lot. Everything you're looking for is at Love Chevrolet in Irmo, I-26 between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park. Get out to Love Chevrolet and find new roads.
This is the last one. And he's ready.
No, 8.
Huh?
Can I get back in at 48, 49?
That's fine. We'll go out.
Tell him a quick 5 minutes.
Yeah. We'll see how he does. Yeah, good. $7:47 on your Saturday. Saturday. I'm sitting here looking ahead at Saturday's schedule. On your Wednesday morning, I'm excited for Saturday. I'll be out in Las Vegas, so that's kind of where my head is already drifting to. Yeah, I'm already thinking way ahead down the line. You're listening to the early game on 107.5. It's a Wednesday morning, if you're wondering. We are joined now by former South Carolina linebacker, defensive back Sherrod Golightly, who's now writing for Gamecock Central. Sherrod, welcome in this morning and hope everything's been going well for you. We got you?
Yes, sir.
There
Yes,
you
sir.
are. Good to hear from you this morning. Yeah, I apologize. A little technical issue there. How's everything been going for you lately? Hope you've been
Man,
doing great.
beautiful day in Atlanta. I'm thankful to even have this conversation with you guys about my old team.
Well, yeah, you're writing for Gamecock Central now. You're giving some commentary there. So let's talk about what you've been able to see. Let's start with the defense, who this year has been improved. I don't know what we had necessarily expected, but what are you seeing that impresses you from Clayton White's defense, the scheme, and how they're utilizing different guys here in 2021?
What I do like is I love the fact that you keep a lot of guys in rotation. It's a lot of opportunity that's been given out right now, and I think a lot of different players are taking advantage of different situations in different games. I just think if we can just put all of those things together in one game, we can actually pull off a defensive win, not just an offensive win, and not just a Gamecock win. But I think our defense can win games if we can just get a group of plays or a group of a consistency with our linebackers and with our D line. I think our DBs have made a big jump throughout the season. I just think with more experience and just different experience in different schemes and different home fields, different arenas, just gotta get used to that. The D line has made jumps, but I think our strongest point is our DNs. I think they do a good job of keeping things boxed in at times, but with a little more consistency, man. I think the wins are on the way.
As far as that secondary goes, Sherrod, what do you think the biggest issue has been? Or is it just not enough continuity or communication issues with a bunch of new bodies there? Or is it they're not necessarily matching up talent-wise? You think there's a talent deficiency there too?
No, I don't know. I don't think it's a talent thing. I just think I don't know how close the team is. That's why I'm thinking like it has to be a communication thing. You go through a week of process with the team trying to figure out how to be another team, and you try to figure out what you're good at and what's your job. And I think on Saturday sometimes they can get cloudy or they can lose a little focus in the bigger moments in the game. And I don't think up to this point yet they understand how crucial every play is and how things can kind of add up to make a bigger picture. But yeah, I just think with a little more communication and a little more experience, it'll come around. But piece by piece, if they can all just work together as one unit in one game, they got a lot of talent. I've seen a couple games where they've scored on defense, plenty of times. So I know it's there. It's just that we got to put it all together for one beautiful game.
He's Gamecock, former Gamecock, always a Gamecock, but a former player. Sherrod Golightly joining us this morning. You can check out his work on Gamecock Central, where he writes and gives analysis for Gamecock Central. Sherrod, we talk with Perry Orth a lot, and we talk a lot about the offense and making adjustments from one offensive coordinator to another offensive coordinator. You going through some of changes with defense from Ellis Johnson to Lorenzo Ward. That was kind of the same, but defensively, when you make a change at defensive coordinator, the terminology, the scheme, all those things, how difficult, how long do you think it takes for a Clayton White to be able to fully implement his system and the things he wants to do with the defense?
I think with us, a big part wasn't just the coaching. It was a lot of leadership. A lot of our players kept each other accountable without coaches being around. When you have a lot of accountability in the locker room, you can look each other in the eye and make sure that they show up. Our coaches didn't have to work so hard. All they had to do was give a scheme. And then when it comes to Saturdays, I think our want to showed. I think our tenacity showed because our leadership was the same way. So the way our mentality is from the top, it kind of spread all the way down. I think the players have to be a lot more accountable than the coaches may be. They can give a scheme all day, but you got to actually go perform it, and you got to actually perform it with passion. So every Saturday, they just got to understand it's an opportunity, and just take advantage. And like I said, attitude reflects leadership. So you're going to move as strong as or as weak as your strongest link. So I just want to make sure that they understand that the leaders have to step up and make sure that they take control of their team because this is their team as well. Coaches can do the best they can, but like I said, it's all about player accountability.
Few minutes, about a minute and a half left with Sherrod Golightly, former South Carolina linebacker, defensive back, and Sherrod, I guess, answer the best you can on this without being too critical. But when the offense is struggling, give me on the sideline the mindset of the defensive player, knowing you've got to go out and get another stop because we've seen South Carolina's offense. The defense is doing as much as they can. Is it as bad as we, the fans, make it out when a defense is watching their offense struggle? What's that like on the sideline?
As a defense, like I said, you all you can do is control what you can control. I take a lot of like I said, from my leadership, I knew that our mentality was we can score on defense as well. Our chance on the field is an opportunity to change the game. And I think that we have enough players and we have enough understanding of the game to make a big play. So I mean, I never leaned on one side of the ball to make sure that we won the game. But I did understand that we could control what we could control. I know that we can make a big change, or not just a big change, but make a big impact on the game. But the offense is gonna do what they do. But if they can't score, they can't win.
Sherrod, we appreciate you taking time out. Know you got to do some teaching this morning. We look forward. We will definitely have you back to get your take on the defense here in the coming weeks. We appreciate you joining us this morning here on the early game.
Man, thank y'all for having me. Go Cox.
Yes, sir. You can always check out his work, GamecockCentral.com. Sherrod Golightly writing and putting his analysis out there for Wes Mitchell and Chris Clark and the rest of the crew over there. So make sure you go check that out at GamecockCentral.com. Big thanks to Sherrod Golightly there for joining us. Some interesting stuff. We'll get back into that. We'll talk more about Luke Doty. And again, we will take that look at Saturday that I was glancing at when I told you it was Saturday. It's not. It's Wednesday, guys. It's Wednesday. I'm just kind of hungover from all the fair food last night. I'm broke. It was a long few hours. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game. All right. Not bad there. See, that was about, 8 minutes. That was good. That's right. No, he did a fantastic job. That's another one we can kind of add, just bring in. I got Casey Crosby will be joining us in the next few weeks as well. Former South Carolina tight end Casey Crosby, who's coaching down at Ocean Collegiate. We will get him on. Yeah, it's a couple really good guests. Good to have Sherrod on. Who do we have last week? We had Brian Maddox. So you had Maddox. You've had Sherrod Golightly.
We got to start looking into basketball guests pretty soon.
Basketball guests are coming. Yeah.
Yeah, get Frank on.
I've talked. He might come in studio one more. I think with coming in studio, I forget all the protocol I got to go through.
It's not much.
I think he just had to show a vaccine card. I don't know if he's
got to bring his card. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It'd be nice to get Frank in studio for like an hour if things are going really bad with football and we just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought about that last night. I got to take care of that date and make sure I get credentialed. I think I put it in EA_. Oh, good. But I get, updates on like lab results and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it does. It helps, and then I can shoot it out to my sisters and stuff like that. But she's never been approved for the rehab floor. It's just very concentration, but it wasn't bad. It
Yes. So, all right, let me pull this up.
I think that's a good idea. I should probably plug mine in.
I just got the low power notification.
Now, tomorrow, again, we'll have Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider for his weekly look around. Give you some picks. Give me some picks to take to Vegas. We'll have Kerry Tharp. None of us won the NASCAR.
And the doctor.
And the doctor. Dr. Dumont.
Yeah, you can break down the race for us. Let us know all the intricate aspects of it.
Do some research. Get on it. I did not see this. The Jags player who delivered his wife's baby yesterday morning, that's Patrick.
Dwayne Smoot. Saw that. Crazy.
Oh.
See a receiver?
Oh, he's a D-line. D-line.
There you go. Oh, sorry. Right now. Yep.
It's 2 breaks for real.
All the Braves people are having a rough morning.
Did you hear Luke Jackson's answer to
What was it?
They said that home run ball, what would you like to have done different on it? He said, sad part is I would have done it the exact same way. They said, why is that? He said, I wanted to throw a fastball high and away. I actually threw it better than I thought. When I left my hand, I thought, oh, that's a ball. Too high, too far out. Nope. It actually wasn't. He hit a home run. Great player, made a great play. He said it's pretty remarkable.
Is there where is that audio at?
You want me to send it
Is
to
it on
Jen?
is it on Twitter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen, if you can do this real quick, Patrick's gonna send you some audio real quick of Luke Jackson. See if you can get it, we can play it in this segment. I'll call for it. Let me know when you got it. I think you might be able to play it straight. Just the clip.
Why can I not?
Did you send it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you let her
I
know
just
how you
sent it. It's quick.
Welcome in to the 8 o'clock hour on a Wednesday morning. Bill Gunner, Patrick Perrette, Jen Jensen coming off, for me, a night at the fair for Braves fans. Man, I am feeling bad for you. And y'all got to get it together. You got to get it together, and you got to get it together quick here. Sam weighs in on the live stream. I just got here, and I'm still in shambles from that Braves game last night. Somebody put me out of my misery. Mark, Hope, all on the live stream. People are just coming unglued right now. Yeah. M. Colt, Braves trying to let the Dodgers get back in the series. I was hoping for a 3-0 lead. It was tough. There's no doubt about it. It was tough. The Braves up 5-2 going to the bottom of the 8th. Luke Jackson comes in to pitch, and it didn't go well, Patrick. It didn't go well. And we're going to try and get you some audio quickly of Luke Jackson explaining
I'll be curious to hear how Brave fans receive this, because didn't really take. Do people like when players take responsibility, and especially pitchers? Like, they have a plan. Seems like his plan actually kind of didn't work, but it was it was carried out the way he anticipated. So I'll be interested to see how people.
I don't think the
receive
plan worked at all. We'll get to that. Braves lose.
I have it
6-5, and when they lose, they move. It's now 2-1 in the series. But here's the thing: you got to pull yourself back together. Game 4 tonight. It's let's turn right back around and play Game 4 tonight. 8:08 on TBS. Braves and Dodgers tonight. It's something to get fired up about. Look, it's actually, I'm trying to recover from being at the fair tonight. I've been a little slow this morning. At one point, I thought it might be Saturday. I'm just hanging out with you guys, but it's really another phenomenal. I'm going to use phenomenal day of sports. And for most of you, it starts when you get off work. Astros and Red Sox 5:08 this afternoon. You can check that out. We got a 2-2 series in that one, Game 5. So you've got Astros at Red Sox this afternoon. Patrick, you really need to. I know you don't have a rooting interest. I know that the Nationals let you down, but you got to get into a little bit of these Major League Baseball playoffs because they're pretty good so far. The Braves-Dodgers series, for someone without a rooting interest, if you just like baseball, it's been a phenomenal series. 3 straight one-run games. They've all come down to the Braves have had 2 walk-off wins. Last night comes down to the bottom of the 8th where the Dodgers make their move and then the Braves can't do anything in the top of the 9th. It's been an absolutely phenomenal series. But today, 5:08, you get Astros, Red Sox at Fenway. Then tonight, big thank you again to Danny Kelly of the Post and Courier in Myrtle Beach for joining us to talk about Coastal Carolina at Appalachian State. That game is 7:30 tonight on ESPN2. And you've got the Braves and the Dodgers at 8:08 tonight on TBS. So you have, when you get home this afternoon, you can order a pizza. Maybe you can throw something on the grill, whatever you want to do. It's actually a really good sports day. And then, yes, I'm going to say something that's going to send many of you or give you hives or cause you to turn the channel. You know what else you got tonight, Patrick, that should have people very excited?
Great NBA slate.
Oh, NBA slate. That's right. Get fired up, folks. Get fired up. 7:30 tonight. Boston is at New York. 10:30 or 10 o'clock, Denver at Phoenix. You got a whole NBA slate. So look, big day of sports. And just so we're doing our job as a sports morning talk show people. Last night, NBA got going. Milwaukee 127, Brooklyn 104. Giannis Antetokounmpo with 32 points. Kevin Durant with 34. Golden State
Completely left out the middle of his last name.
Go ahead.
Antetokounmpo.
Oh, you added like a tauntaun.
Anteta.
Sure. Okay.
Anteta
I'm just going to keep
Kupo.
going with how I say it, even if it's not correct. I don't
It's
work in the
not.
Milwaukee
Just-
market, and nobody's going
I
to
mean,
really care.
skip a
Nobody,
syllable.
everybody here is already like tuned out because we started talking NBA. Golden State last night, 121. Los Angeles Lakers, 114. Steph Curry with 21. LeBron with 34. There's your NBA talk for the day. We'll give you more hockey talk. I think I'm going to go to a Vegas Golden Knights game this weekend.
Who do they play?
Edmonton on Friday.
Oh,
Edmonton Friday, and then
you
the
see the best hockey player in the world.
Huh?
You get to see the best hockey player in the world if you go see Edmonton.
Whom may that be?
Connor McDavid.
Okay, so Edmonton. So I've got choices. Friday is Edmonton. Sunday is the Islanders.
No, Edmonton, dude.
I mean, the Islanders. I got on board with the Islanders in the playoffs last year, and Vegas is supposed to be an experience. Like it's gonna crazy. Go the Vegas Golden Knights. I've been to Vegas. I've never been to a Golden Knights game. It's supposed to be like I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said in terms of like sports atmospheres across America, baseball, football, hockey, throw hockey in there, college. Apparently, the Vegas Golden Knights home game is one of the better experiences across the board in sports to go and attend.
You got to be there 30 minutes before opening phase too, because the pregame show is wild.
Okay.
Where they have the lone Golden Knight out there skating against the first game. Did you see what they did?
I did not. That was like
display?
a 10 o'clock game, and as I get older, bedtime.
They just have their guy in a night outfit on skates out there, and they whatever the way they can project things onto courts and the ice now is insane. They put a giant Kraken out there, and he was like fighting off the Kraken. It was pretty cool. But go see Edmonton. Connor McDavid's the best player in hockey. He's the closest thing to Wayne Gretzky we've had since Gretzky retired. He's incredible. He and Leon Draisaitl, that duo right there, both already have 8 points in 3 games. They're insane.
Anonymous texter brings up a good point. David Cloninger, the Posting Courier, huge Braves fan. He says, better check on Cloninger after that Braves game. Yeah, we better check on like Jay Phillips. Do we have confirmation Jay Phillips will show up for work today?
No.
Yeah, we probably should have.
We should send somebody to his house, right? Like
the Arsenal play yesterday.
I have zero idea if I have no clue if Arsenal is played or what's going on with that. So 803-404-6100, how you can join us. That's exactly right. Matt says, I think he's referring to Giannis's last name. He says, Bill hasn't pronounced the last name correctly since he got to the job at 107.5. I got my name correctly, Matt, and that's really the only last name that matters. That's Patrick. I get Perrette.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Jensen, although I just found out last week that for 5 years I've been spelling it incorrectly.
That's all right. It's a matter of being
Jen
Danish.
sent that back to me when I sent some suggestions for some other things. So, see, Matt,
Ian, not Owen.
I got some correctly. That's all that, and mine is the only other one that matters. If I can get a couple correct, that's all I go for. 50% hit rate on the mornings is all I really
keep
need.
in mind this is the guy who is Will on Twitter, but Bill on the air. So
it's a good point.
No.
It's a good point, Matt. That's all you need right there. 803-404-6100. How you can join us this morning, several different ways. Big thanks, Mark, Chuck, Keith, Sam, Alan, all weighing in on the live stream. Hope is in there. I've seen Lauren, Courtney, all kinds of people weighing in on the live stream this morning. You can go to the 107.5 The Game YouTube page and join in that manner. You can also go to the 107.5 The Game Facebook page as well to join in and add your thoughts. A lot of the live stream is its own separate planet. People are having conversations back and forth. You can get involved in that and see us as well. You can hear the guests and the callers. You can also join us this morning if you want via the Cool Care Heating and Air text line, 803-404-6100. How you can do that. The Love Chevy phone lines as well, 803-404-6100. We will get into this hour. We'll continue to talk about certainly the Luke Doty news, but the weekend slate that'll be, again, I mentioned it, Patrick, it's not a great weekend of college football, and that's why that's why we highlighted the Coastal Carolina Appalachian State game tonight, because it probably is one of the better games of the weekend. You're right. Boone, North Carolina, a neat place to go and watch a football game. Should be a pretty lively crowd, even for a Wednesday night. What'd you say the weather forecast is for Boone?
It's going to be the high 40s.
The high 40s, so you get that nice fall football feeling.
That's good football weather.
Great football weather, yeah. So that's going to be one of the better games of the weekend. Again, it's not a great weekend. As a matter of fact, there's not a game featuring two ranked teams playing each other all weekend. That gives you an idea of the weekend slate. No games with a ranked versus a ranked opponent. But we'll get into that schedule here in the next segment. 803-404-6100, how you can join us. Jen, did we have that audio from Luke Jackson? Is that ready to go? Let's hear Luke Jackson last night giving up the home run to Cody Bellinger. Here's what he had to say regarding the fastball he threw that resulted in a Bellinger home run.
Pretty remarkable.
I like the pause.
Oh my.
I like the pause. I would have done it. That's the same thing. I would have done that again. Like that's exactly what I do.
Sorry.
Like how do you? I mean that's just how do you take that if you're a Braves fan? Because he's just not only would I do it again, but I threw a ball.
That's where you were supposed to throw it. He just hit a home run off of it.
Yeah.
Is it? I guess I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works.
I've never pitched in a major league game, but I like the fact that he says, when I let it go, I threw it better than I thought I would throw it. Yeah, I don't. 803-404-6100. Just I'd like to see how. Yeah, Sam weighs in. Sam weighs in on the Cool Care, or excuse me, on the live stream and says, "Is that Will Muschamp?" I did what I was supposed to. I did what I was supposed to do. I threw it, and not only did I throw it, I threw it better than I initially thought I was going to throw it.
That's what I was thinking, but then I was worried about someone texting in and being like, "Okay, you guys really can't get through one show without talking about Will Muschamp," because we do get that a lot. But it was the same thing we would say, like, "No, the game plan was correct. They just didn't execute it." So the pitch was right, and he did execute it, though. That's the difference. He had the right pitch. He executed it correctly. It just happened to be a home run. Sometimes they just get the best of you.
They do. And look, Cody Bellinger's a very good player, and certainly if you make a mistake, although I didn't take it, it's one thing if he'd have said, "Yeah, I made a mistake. I left it up high, in the strike zone," and he took full advantage of it and cleaned my clock. He's basically saying, "Yeah, I threw a ball high in the strike zone, and Bellinger still completely took advantage of it. 3-run homer. All it did was tie the game. Mookie Betts did come in and then double to right center to be able to score the go-ahead run. Bellinger's home run, the 3-run homer, tied the ball game to make it 5-5. But probably I don't know if you're a Braves fan, and Braves fans are dealing with a lot this morning. We don't mean to pile on. I'm not trying to pile on. Because I'm really, really, really pulling for a Braves Red Sox World Series so that Braves fans can go down and take over the Village Idiot and make it a Braves bar as opposed to a Red Sox bar. That'd be really cool to watch. But
I like the comment. Just, hey, what would you change about that pitch? M. Cole on the live stream says, throw it faster. That would have been a good answer. What would you change? Just throw it faster. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys.
AJ weighs.
Does it make you feel like, okay, that was just a great play? Are you, because everyone's just killing Luke Jackson.
They are.
But if this last texter just said it was a good elevated fastball, how Bellinger got to it, I don't know. That was what AJ said. Does that make you think just wasn't Luke Jackson's fault? Sometimes great players just make great plays. Don't put it all on Luke Jackson. Take it easy on the kid. I don't know enough. It sounds like he's been blowing saves left and right.
Yeah.
I really have no idea.
803-404-6100. Tough game. But again, it's going to be a really good day of sports. We're into that time of year where it really is a lot of fun. You've got 2 baseball series. That Braves-Dodgers series, man, the momentum shift last night in the 8th inning with the Cody Bellinger home run, with the Mookie Betts double that scores the go-ahead run. I'm with people, and I've grown up in an era being here in Columbia. If you know me, you know kind of the story. We lived in New York a little while. My mother was at Sloan Kettering Memorial Hospital for leukemia. So I went to a lot of Yankees games and became a Yankees fan, but I don't live and die with the Yankees. Like, it's not I have no clue what their record was this past year. Major League Baseball is not the thing I follow. We have family that lives in Georgia, went to a lot of Braves games as well. So I was there in the 90s and the 2000s. I've watched a lot of disappointment, Patrick, with the Braves. Like, I've watched a lot of disappointment with the Braves. With that being said, it felt like last night was the beginning of the end. It feels like, and I think there's a lot of people, especially on the live stream this morning, who are all basically saying just about the same thing right now. That it feels like the beginning of the end for the Braves, but they can bounce back tonight. They can bounce back and they can maybe turn things around. They can still go up 3-1 in this series. They will play again on Thursday night as well tonight. At least as of now, the Braves have not decided on their starter, or at least I've not seen it announced anywhere. So to my knowledge, nobody has put out the pitching matchup for tonight, or at least I have not seen that just yet. 803-404-6100. We'll take a look at the weekend schedule. Again, not a great weekend schedule. We'll take a look at the weekend schedule that will be for college football. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
College football playoffs are here on 107.5 The Game.
Right now, if you aren't calling Benji Getsy and Buford Lending, boy, are you missing a golden opportunity to potentially lower your mortgage payment monthly. Right now, refinancing opportunities are saving Benji's clients an average of $300 to $500 per month. But here's the thing about it. You don't know until you try. And a lot of us, sometimes there's fees, there's costs, there's extra add-ons that you're unaware of. That's not what Benji Getsy and Buford Lending do. They want a chance to earn your business, to show you how much money they can save you. Let Benji and his experienced staff earn your business today. Give them a phone call, 843-524-2404. Give them a call for a free evaluation anytime today or tonight, 843-524-2404. Don't call Wall Street. The rates are better on Bay Street and Buford, although Benji works all over the state. Let his team help you today. Save money on your mortgage payment. Again, the refinancing opportunities are absolutely insane. Now is the time to take advantage of your increased equity and the record rates. You never know. You might even get a little money back in your pocket that you can use for some Christmas gifts. Or, as I learned last night, Patrick, for the fair. Trust me, you need some extra money to attend the fair. It's not cheap.
You need a lot of extra money to attend the fair.
You can get that.
Especially if you want to eat.
Yeah, you can get that right now. If you call Benji Getsy, you might be able to put a lot of money back in your pocket, but you don't know until you try. 843-524-2404. Let Benji and his team earn your business today by starting with a free evaluation of what's going on with your monthly mortgage interest and payment. 843-524-2404. That's Benji Getsy with Buford Lending. Braves fans, I feel bad for you. What did we not have fed to the live stream?
The Luke Jackson.
Oh.
If you're on the live stream, that means you're on the internet right now. Just Google or put Luke Jackson into Twitter and go by videos. It'll be right there. It's pretty funny to watch his face with it, too. It's better that way. It sounds like he was more just shocked than upset. He's just scratching his head like, wait, I threw the right pitch. What's happening here? I mean, a couple people did say that in the texts. Like, no, that was fine. It was just a ridiculous hit.
Alan, I was here's the thing that I'm trying to decide. We fly into Vegas. The game is at 7 o'clock Vegas time, 10 o'clock Eastern time. If I understand my times correctly, we fly into Vegas. We land at like 3:40-ish, something like that. Get to so then I'm taking a carry-on. So I'm not going to check a bag because I don't feel like dealing with all that. Get to the hotel, you figure 5-ish. I mean, by the time I get out of the airport and Uber or whatever the guys want to do, however we want to get there, tape an octopus to my chest. No, we're not yet. But by the time we Uber, it'll be 5 o'clock. Now you got to get checked in. Let's be honest. I'm going to want to go have a drink, just like take in Vegas for a minute, right? Like you get there. Have you ever been? You ever been to Vegas? You never been? You got to and I haven't
Are you talking
been.
about at the hotel?
Yeah.
How are you going to take in Vegas when you're at a hotel?
We're at look at the hotel look at the place I'm at. We got a 2,000 square foot corner suite. A buddy of mine had 1 million Hilton points, like just 1 million, literally 1 million. Let me see if I got this. Alaria. We're at the Hotel Alaria. Here, I'm gonna send you. This is where we're staying. I mean, we aren't at the Motel 6, and it's connected to Planet Hollywood too.
What floor are you on?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm yeah. Going up, Mark. Going up. Door may or may not. I never remember if I locked doors at my place. I had a lot of kind of older ladies that live up behind me that keep a very close eye on everything. Yeah, so I'll be out the early part of next week because we're not flying back. I'm not flying back till Tuesday. Figured bye week and all. And we're going out for 40th birthday parties. Two of the 4 guys going. It's their 40th. There's a parade. See, I think I want to go Sunday. I think I'll be footballed out by Sunday, and the game on Sunday's at 7. I understand what Patrick's saying about Connor McDavid and seeing him.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to experience it.
Like, you talking about the thing by flying in?
Friday with your time, yeah.
And then you see the hotel. Like, I'm going to want to get in there and, like, relax. It's just Sunday. I think the way I see it, well, Mark, you can take your cell phone. You can still log on to the chat with your cell phone while you're on the golf course. But I think I'll be by Saturday. We were talking about the schedule. And then Sunday, I'll be watching.
Yeah, Sunday, I mean.
So yeah, that's the weekend plans is to get out there and I'll play a little blackjack. I've been restudying my craps strategies, pass line, some hard 4s, hard 8s. This is Biggie Smalls. He's not coming to Columbia on December 8th. If he does, it'll either be in hologram fashion or Ghostbusters should be called. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is coming to Columbia Wednesday, December 8th, Colonial Life Arena. Tickets are on sale now. You need to purchase some. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Family Promise of the Midlands, a charity that aims to help families experiencing homelessness in their quest to achieve sustainable independence. Again, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, really cool. Patrick was listening to him over the weekend. Maybe I'll listen to him at some point in the next few weeks. Coming back to Columbia on Wednesday, December 8th at Colonial Life Arena. Portion of the proceeds will benefit Family Promise of the Midlands, a charity that aims to help families experiencing homelessness in their quest to achieve sustainable independence. Tickets on sale now. Favorite Trans-Siberian?
Christmas Canon.
Christmas, is that the one that we always are familiar with?
It's there. There's two that are really big. I think the one that you're most familiar with is probably Carol of the Bells.
Yes, that could be it. I don't know.
I think so.
I have no answer for you. I have no answer for that. 803-404-6100. Braves fans, pick it up a little bit. We got to, Patrick, we got to be positive over the next 24, 25 minutes.
Leading the series.
They are up. Like, yes.
Sorry. Sweeping the Dodgers was too much to ask.
Here's what we may need. Jen, I think you would agree with this. Ed Orgeron, who's in studio with us occasionally, may need to give a pep talk here at the end of the show to the Braves fans. Huh?
Cheer up. I mean, he will if he has to.
Yeah, maybe we'll give, because I'm reading some of the text messages. Patrick, not Patrick Perrette, Patrick on the text line. Luke has actually had a good year, but a few years back when he was the closer, he wasn't very good. But as a setup man this year, he's actually done well until last night. But Bill's right. Last night's ending just felt bad. Charlie D. Ways, and guys, the pitcher should always miss low, not high. He put 3 pitches in roughly the same place, then boom, got to waste at least one down and away, and then climb the ladder again. AJ weighs in. Jackson had a sub-2 ERA this year, had a really good year. That Bellinger homer hurt bad, though. Feels like the beginning of the end. Danny, that was an absurd home run. Braves just need to win one of the next 2, and they will go to the World Series. In my opinion, I don't think they will lose 2 in Atlanta. This team has bounced back all year. Got to do it again. Brian weighs in. I would go right back to Luke Jackson. Bellinger is a really good player who came through in the clutch. Don't take away from Bellinger's skills. He showed last year he's a clutch player. Earlier, he swung and missed on a similar pitch. Some people being positive.
People. Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers are arguably the best team in baseball. I think they had by far the best World Series odds at the beginning of the year. You weren't going to sweep them. Just win this next one.
Get the
game
one
at a time.
808.
The Nationals won the World Series. They faced elimination 100 times in that postseason. It's going to happen. You guys still have the lead. Keep your heads up. I guess I'm cheering for you because I don't really want to see Max Scherzer or Trey Turner win a World Series with the Dodgers.
Yeah, you'd like to see I think the Braves.
Technically, they're division rivals, but do I really care about that? Not really.
Yeah, it's everybody on the live stream that you've become friends with as Braves fans. All the texters, you're all friends with all of you. You need to join in.
I do actually find it funny on behalf of all the Atlanta fans, like the city of Atlanta fans, because they can't win anything.
No, they do struggle a little bit.
So for us, it's South Carolina and Atlanta fans, so I actually want it for them. But, I mean, if you're a Falcons, Hawks, Braves.
The city of Atlanta, mostly run by Georgia Bulldogs, would gladly trade the World Series for a Georgia national championship, though. Are you in agreement with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Atlanta, I guess I say run by Georgia Bulldogs, but there's more Georgia Bulldogs over there. There's like 7 Georgia Tech fans that accidentally get to wander out of their house on like Sunday afternoons. Most of it's Georgia Bulldogs. I think they would try, but yeah, we'll see. There's your pep talk from Patrick Perrette. Maybe Ed Orgeron will give us one here shortly. Let's give you the lowdown, the 411 here on this coming weekend's college football slate. Again, there's a reason. Big thanks again, Danny Kelly joining us. Anything you've missed, you can go to the 1075 The Game podcast page. Go to 1075thegame.com. You can find the podcast page, and you can hear Danny Kelly this morning previewing the Coastal Carolina Appalachian State game tonight, ESPN2. Also, big thank you to Sherrod Golightly. Really good interview, by the way. Before I get into the schedule, Patrick with Sherrod Golightly talking about defense and what he's seeing right now from the defense. Jen has already put that up this morning on our Twitter account. You can go back and listen to that interview as well. Jen doing a fantastic job back there.
The one thing, as a former player, he wasn't going to say, I asked him, is there a talent deficiency or is it just communication, getting used to things? I think it's pretty clear there's a little bit of a talent deficiency on the back end of that defense. He's not going to say it. He's a former player. He doesn't want to put down other players. The only disagreement I had with him in that phone call was saying there's not a talent deficiency. There clearly is when you're bringing in that many. When you're starting, 3 grad transfers or JUCO transfers, you're not always going to have like high level SEC guys.
Richard very quickly weighs it. Different Richard, totally different Richard. As a Georgia born and bred dog and Braves fan, I'd gladly sacrifice the Braves World Series for a Georgia national championship. So yes, thank you to that.
Well, you're definitely going to get one this year.
Oh, and now
nothing
Patrick
could possibly make that not happen.
He is Patrick.
They can't be stopped.
Giving you the jinx.
Guaranteed national championship for Georgia.
803-404-6100.
I won't put that on the Braves though.
Tonight, Coastal Carolina, Appalachian State, 7:30, ESPN2. Your Thursday night slate, not very good. Tomorrow night, Tulane at number 21, SMU. You've got a couple other games. Florida Atlantic is at Charlotte, Louisiana Lafayette. It's just Louisiana now, but at Arkansas State, San Jose State, and UNLV. So tomorrow night, not a very good college football night. Friday night is not much better. Middle Tennessee at UConn, Memphis at Central Florida, Colorado State at Utah State. If you're into it at 10:30 on Friday night, Washington at Arizona is your best game. Saturday, again, and this is kind of where we're at. It's going to be kind of a sleeper Saturday if you're not a South Carolina or Clemson fan. The morning slate, number 2 Cincinnati is at Navy. Oklahoma, I could go play quarterback. Patrick could play wide receiver. They're at Kansas. We'd still cover the spread. Lincoln Riley and
what is the spread?
It's a good question. It's large. It's going to be large. It's going to be significant.
I don't know if we could cover 42.
I don't. Kansas, is it 42?
I don't know. I'm just saying that's probably the upper limit of what I could
It's
cover.
38.5. Yeah. Well, remember, I didn't say we were playing defense for Oklahoma because I don't think Oklahoma's defense allows Kansas to score, and I feel like I could hand off enough times. That's another game in the noon slate. Again, a couple other games. Michigan, number 6 in the country. You're not buying Michigan. You said that earlier. You're not.
I think they're a good team. I just don't think they're a national championship contender. I think they have a solid team. I think they're as good as anyone in the Big Ten. I don't think anyone in the Big Ten is matching up this year, though.
Michigan, for South Carolina fans, it may be worth, if you want to just flip over, the game is noon on Fox. Ryan Helinski, who is now starting for Northwestern, he'll take the Wildcats into Ann Arbor and number 6 Michigan. So maybe if you're just interested, what was that?
That could be ugly.
Okay. Patrick saying ugly, but Ryan Helinski and Northwestern at number 6 Michigan, Illinois. Brett Bielema. I'm sorry. What did Brett Bielema call out about his players the other day? We don't have that audio. Maybe we should get it. Like what?
Brett Bielema said that the problem with their team is that no one that's been recruited there in the last 3 years has been able or is basically worth playing. Said we're not getting any meaningful. I'll pull up his exact quote, but we're not getting any meaningful contribution from anyone that was recruited from the previous staff.
Illinois at Penn State, also a noon game. Wake Forest quietly rolling along undefeated is at Army, also a noon game. There's your main noon games on Saturday. Again, it's not a great slate. The afternoon doesn't get a whole lot better. LSU at Mississippi, 3:30. Again, LSU, what exactly are you going to get from them? Oklahoma State this is actually probably your best game of the afternoon. Oklahoma State at Iowa State, Patrick. Oklahoma State, number 8, undefeated. It would be interesting to see them run their schedule out and play Bedlam, 2 teams undefeated. I actually think Oklahoma State loses this weekend in Ames. They're off the big win and Austin against Texas. Now you got to go and play Matt Campbell and Iowa State, who usually play pretty solid at home. I kind of like Iowa State to maybe pull the upset there.
I mean, I do too. They're kind of fun to watch, basically just because Breece Hall is fun to watch. They're running back there. I actually enjoyed watching them play Kansas State last Saturday just because Deuce Vaughn and Breece Hall on both sides, the running backs on both teams were awesome. But hey, I did pull up the Brett Bielema quote. His exact quote was, "I don't believe we have a player in the 2 deep that they've recruited here over the last 3 years that is significantly doing anything for us in the playing department. That's a major concern.
Okay. Yeah.
Former players are mad.
Yeah, and
mad.
there's the negative coach. South Carolina fans have been talking about the positive coach. There's the negative coach. Oregon at UCLA, number 10, Oregon at little rematch. Chip Kelly getting his former school there in the Rose Bowl, and of course, really the locally, I know a lot of people will be tuned in. I think I saw that this is Clemson's first time being an underdog since 2016. Clemson in the regular season. Clemson at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, number 23 in the country. Patrick, we'll pick that game on Friday. 3.5-point favorite is Pittsburgh. That one, a very entertaining game locally. I don't know what it means nationally right now, but there's probably your two best games. LSU at Mississippi, Clemson at Pittsburgh. Again, Oklahoma State at Iowa State for those of you that want to get into that game. But 3:30, again, not exactly an exciting schedule.
No. Troy asked on the live stream, and I actually don't know the answer. Where's game day going? Do you know?
Do not.
Really nothing that sticks out as this is where they've got to be.
It's again late afternoon slate. Boston College at Louisville for those of you who are into that kind of thing. Mississippi State at Vanderbilt if you really want to torture yourself. Tennessee.
They're in LA, by the way.
They're in LA
for Oregon at UCLA.
Yeah, that's sure. At least it's a different venue. Night games this weekend. Tennessee at Alabama. Maybe Tennessee goes in and challenges them a little bit with that offense. Alabama's defense is a little suspect right now. Tennessee, maybe if they get hot, maybe if they're still fired up. Tennessee at Alabama. Number 22, San Diego State is at Air Force. Texas San Antonio is ranked now. Were you aware of that? I believe they're undefeated as well.
What is their mascot?
Roadrunners. Yeah. Texas San Antonio ranked. They're at Louisiana Tech.
Give you $1 if you tell me who their coach is.
Larry Coker. I'm going to tell you, is it Larry Coker still there? If so, he's been there for 15 or 18 years.
It's Jeff Traylor.
Okay. Yep. I wasn't going to get that. Other games on Saturday night. Number 5, Ohio State is at Indiana. Southern Cal at Notre Dame. Maybe that's your best night game. Southern Cal at Notre Dame. South Carolina at Texas A&M, as we know. Number 18, North Carolina State at Miami. Georgia Tech at Virginia. West Virginia is at TCU. Yeah, you get the point. There's actually not even a late Pac-12 game for you to stay up and overindulge yourself. You know
what Saturday would be a good day for?
What do you got?
Afternoon pumpkin patch. This is the day to do it. Halloween's next weekend? Yeah, next weekend. South Carolina doesn't play until late.
Okay.
Get your pumpkin patch
Get your pumpkin patch. 803-404-6100. That's your weekend slate. Again, not very good. A couple people wondering, we've talked about Luke Doty throughout the morning. He is out for the season. We've talked about that. Zeb Nolan coming in to replace him. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we wrap up the Wednesday edition of the early game. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Patrick Pratt, and Jen Jensen here on 107.5 The Game. Getting a little bit cooler in the mornings. Patrick's over here, our resident northerner, is over here wearing sweatshirts already, long pants, jackets. I think he's got 2 sweatshirts on this morning. So you know the cooler weather is coming. The question is, have you had your heating unit inspected and know that you're ready to handle it? If not, now is the day. Don't wait any longer. Call AAA Heating and Air, 803-677-1500. They will come out and do an inspection. Just $59. You can save money in the long run by going ahead and having your heating and air unit inspected today. Don't wait any longer. Call Roy and Dana Finley over at AAA Heating and Air. You need to make sure you tell them Bill Gunner sent you. Again, get them out there. $59. Get a simple inspection. Make sure that unit is ready to handle what is coming this winter. We know there's going to be several chilly mornings, and you don't want to wake up, the heat be out, everybody in the house be angry at you. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Get them out there to do an inspection on your unit. If something's wrong, don't worry. AAA Heating and Air is not trying to break your budget. They'll work with you. They'll offer you a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit. Then, for those who qualify, 0% financing, no money down. So you can save money right here at Christmas time on a brand new unit, and they'll even offer you a 15-year parts and labor warranty to make sure they are there in case anything ever happens again. 803-677-1500. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
And you don't need an update. What do you want? What do you want to update? He's out for the year. What? There won't be an update. There won't be an update this year. He's not playing. He's out for the year. What do you want to know?
You can get a nice text from this guy who says very good show today, guys. Miles pointing out on the text line that Texas San Antonio 6-0 against the spread. We should look at that.
All right.
That. Yes, Los Angeles. Hope Rooster P is worried about you. Said we need to make sure you're okay.
Why? What's he worried about?
Are you worried about Hope? Braves lost last night. Sam, a lot of people were very happy with you putting the jinx on Georgia.
Yeah, but I also anointed them like 3 months ago.
So yeah, Patrick's been on the Georgia bus since the very beginning.
They really are just too talented.
Mark, where was his the corn maze and pumpkin patch? I was trying to go back. Which corn maze and pumpkin patch are we discussing here? Alrighty. I think we've got most stuff kind of up and running pretty good.
I did watch Squid Game, Craig. Crazy.
It's terrible.
But did not like the last 30 minutes. Did not like the ending.
Oh, did you make no movie theater yesterday?
No,
No
I was
movie
too
theater?
tired.
Still holding out for the Bond, for the right time to go see Bond.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't do it during the week. There's really not time. I will actually probably see a movie on Saturday. What was the best noon game? Nothing worth watching at noon.
Michigan Northwestern. Honestly, Michigan Northwestern to watch what Ryan Holinsky does. I mean, I'm not being funny when I say that. Like,
Yeah, I really don't care. I think I'm gonna go see a movie on Saturday.
your best bet is to go catch. I mean, Cincinnati Navy, Oklahoma, Kansas, Northwestern, Michigan, Illinois,
Yeah.
Penn State.
I saw the last duel, Mark. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, honestly, it's to the point where we're in a big suite. I might even go back to the room, take a little, like get up, go downstairs, go to. I think the sports book is playing at Hollywood. It's connected. I think the Aloria has a casino, but they don't have a sports book. And so that might be something where I have to like walk over to play Hollywood. Get
Yeah.
bets. It's not like using the app. I can use that. My phone's like right here. Like I feel like if you're in Vegas, you go to the window.
Yeah, you have to if you're going to. 'Cause that's why I say I really don't.
Like if I'm sitting in the room just betting on my, like using the app, I don't feel like
It's so easy to just bet on your phone now.
I don't feel like I'm doing. All I'm doing really is going to put a couple dollars down. If I win like 25, I'm tip the waitress. for
Yeah.
the $80 worth of drinks that I just had. It's kind of stupid. Like I was reading 2 nights ago about the sports books and about how, like, to get a free drink ticket, you got to spend certain amounts of money.
Yeah.
And like most of them is like you got to spend $125 to get one drink ticket. I'm like, dude, the drink's $5. Like,
Yeah, but you spend $125, you might make $125 back. Might be a free drink.
Wrapping up the Wednesday edition of the early game. Again, big thank you to Danny Kelly for joining us in our number one to talk a little bit about the Coastal Carolina Appalachian State tonight. You can check that out. Jen has done a fantastic job of getting that interview, as well as Sherrod Golightly, former South Carolina linebacker Sherrod Golightly, joining us this morning to talk about South Carolina's defense and what he saw. You can go to our podcast page, 1075thegame.com, and check out the interview with both Danny Kelly if you want to hear him break down not only the Coastal Carolina Appalachian State game, but also the potential future of Jamie Chadwell, which is going to become a storyline over the next few weeks as more and more jobs open up. The one that I'm keeping a close eye on is Virginia Tech. Not open yet, but look, Virginia Tech playing Syracuse this weekend, Patrick. We were talking about those games, 12:30, early game in Blacksburg. Not a lot of people particularly thrilled with Justin Fuente up there. They've lost 2 straight. They got thumped by Pittsburgh at home last weekend, 28-7. They lost to Notre Dame 32-29 2 weeks ago. Virginia Tech's 3-3 on the season right now. Doesn't look like they'll win the Coastal again. And ever since Justin Fuente's first year, it's been kind of all downhill.
I feel like they're a very polite fan base because it is a passionate bunch. Like they sell out all the time. It's a great environment. But you don't hear loud calls for them to fire their coach, or you just really don't see them headlined anymore. Are they just like kind of irrelevant on the national landscape right now? Because you never really hear about them. They were one of the best programs in the country not that long ago, and they've kind of faded into obscurity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never been there. It's a bucket list item to go up there and catch Enter the Sandman and catch a Virginia Tech game.
Enter Sandman.
Yeah, fine, whatever. I'm not a
Metallica fan.
Thank you. I about stumbled on that one, but
I should have let you play that one out and see what we got.
I was going to go down a path, but anyway, that's different. Maybe I'm not. By the way, when I say go up there, I don't want to wait till I think it's 2035, 2036 for the home and home.
Plays them.
So. Big thanks again. If you want to go, big thanks to Sherrod Golightly, to Danny Kelly. If you want to go to the podcast page, 1075thegame.com, and check out the podcast page. Jen's done a phenomenal job of getting those up for us this morning. If you've missed anything else on the show, you can always go to the YouTube page, 1075thegame.com, search there, subscribe to the YouTube page, or you can go to the 1075 The Game Facebook page and see the video this morning from the live stream. Again, the news yesterday, Patrick, it was out at 1:15, as you were saying. If we were talking off air, there's not going to be another update the remainder of the season. Luke Doty's out. He's done for the remainder of the season. He's actually set to have surgery on his foot. He's gone. Zeb Nolan is the starter. We'll see if Jason Brown figures into the equation. But this weekend, Shane Beamer saying yesterday, Zeb Nolan will be the guy. They're giving him the football. It's his game. We'll talk more about that tomorrow and Friday, certainly, as we count down the hours until the game. But, yeah, Luke Doty done for the season. And that's a shame because it hurts his development. But he also not really progressing, whether it was because of the foot, whether it was because of the offense, whether it was because of the offensive line, not making the progression that you had hoped from his first game against Georgia.
You hope that his chance to play the last couple weeks helped him a little bit develop, because really trying to get back on a hurt foot and play out with a hurt foot, I don't know if he just hampered himself more, but it is tough. I mean, he hasn't looked like himself. Not that we really know what himself is supposed to look like, but we have speculated that he's been banged up all year long. But it will be interesting going forward. We're not going to hear from about Luke Doty again. All we're going to hear is successful surgery and rehab is going well. That's all you ever hear when somebody's hurt. Every surgery is always successful and rehab is always going according to plan, until you realize, oh, you said he was going to be back in X amount of weeks and it's been more than that and he's still not back. So I think we were strung along a little bit and they told us Luke was going to be 100% and he was clearly never 100%. So don't ever listen to a coach when they're talking about injuries. But it's going to be interesting. We'll see how confident they are in the backup QBs potentially. If things aren't going well, how long is the leash for Zeb Nolan? If you're down 35-0 and the offense is doing nothing and they still aren't going to Jason Brown or Colton Gauthier, that tells you that there is a large gap between Luke and Zeb and everyone else, which is what we thought was the case based on how they talked about the quarterback room. But now we're really going to see, do they really just not believe in Jason Brown's ability to go out there and make something happen. Is Colton Gauthier just really that far behind developmentally, and he just needs that much more time? We're gonna see, because it's a tough 5 weeks. We've pointed out this 5 weeks for a while since the schedule came out. It was not going to be easy, and you're throwing him into the fire.
It does help. It does help that you got a bye week next week. It does help. You get through that. Colton Gauthier, as you mentioned, look, Shane Beamer saying yesterday he's done some nice things, but he's been on scout team, and the offense right now is seems complicated enough for guys who have been running it for at least 6 weeks up until last week to try and execute it without making mistakes. I think it's unrealistic to expect Colton Gauthier to play at any point this season. It's either Zeb Nolan or it's Jason Brown. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider will join us tomorrow. Carrie Tharp, Dr. Dumont from Prisma Orthopedic. We will have a lot to get to tomorrow. Again, big thanks to Danny Kelly. Big thanks to Sherrod Golightly. Big thanks to Jen Jensen doing all the hard work behind the scenes. Patrick, try and stay warm.
I'm only pants from here on out. 2 sweatshirts every day.
Thank you for wearing pants. It's been the pants edition
Short season's
of
over.
107.5 The Game.
That actually has been an issue, because all of I have to wear khakis or jeans to work. And all of my khakis and jeans are now too small. They're like a full size too small. And I don't think you can just lose a waist size.
We messed up. Yeah, Chuck, we wanted to hear a little Coach O to close out the show. So
Oh,
give
yeah.
him a little Coach O. Tell him goodbye.
Keep your heads up, Braves fans. Chop on.
There you go. Y'all have a good
We'll
day.
get into it more. The Braves are gonna be all right.
Yep.
Don't
I
worry.
think so.
You're not facing elimination. You still got a lead. You'll be all right.
Absolutely.
See everyone tomorrow.
Be positive.
Thank you for joining us.